Hey everybody, welcome out to the show Board Game Reviews. This is a YouTube channel dedicated to the tabletop gaming hobby, and this video was part of a series of videos looking at the game of Too Many Bones. Now this was supposed to be the second video in a series of 4 videos where in every single video I was going to add in more and more content. The first video was just basically a solo playthrough with the basic set, just so you can see what the basic game of Too Many Bones was like. Second video was supposed to throw in a couple of expansions. This was actually supposed to throw in extra baddies, extra encounters, and actually the randomized first, second, third day encounters. That way you can see there's extra variety of the game. My plan for the third video was to do Undertow, so you can see what the other standalone expansion looked like. And with the final fourth video, my whole goal with that was just to throw on the full campaign, so you can see all the fun stuff with extra gear locks. The problem is, hardly anybody watched the first video. So the second video right now got really delayed, and it's being filmed right now. This is about 10 days after I filmed the original video, and hardly anybody watched it, so I didn't really have too much impetus to go out there and finish filming this video. So I'm going to film the second video, and hopefully people watch it. If nobody really watches it like the first video, I'm not going to finish this series. I really would like to, just want to show you lots of cool content for the game of Too Many Bones, but if nobody's watching it, I'm not going to bother to film it because it's just not worth my time. This takes way too many hours and way too much time to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and start the second video right here. Again, this is going to be a video showing Patches and Tantrum. The baddie we're going to go after here is going to be Mulmesh, and again, I do have a couple of expansions thrown in there. The first one is going to be 40 Days of Daelore, and also I'm going to have the Tyrants expansion here, which is going to give us some extra baddies, extra encounters, and some extra randomized stuff that we can go ahead and encounter in this game. Just before we get started with the video, I just need to understand that I am not sponsored by Chip Theory Games. They're not sponsored this channel. They never not paid me. Matter of fact, everything you're seeing here is everything I paid for myself out of my own pocket. I didn't back the original Kickstarter. I purchased everything at retail, so this is all out of my pocket, all this content I paid for. If you enjoy this content, you want to see more content like this, think about subscribing, think about supporting the channel on Patreon, patreon.com/OTSBGR. Let's start the video. Now this video is not going to be too much of a tutorial because I expect you to most likely have either watched the prior video, hopefully, or watched a lot of the other videos I have because I have a complete playlist which goes over everything you want to know about Too Many Bones. How to play, sample gameplay, a review, everything you want to see. Check out the full playlist I have for the game. It tells you everything you need to know about the game of Too Many Bones. We're going to go ahead and get this started very quickly. We're playing on heroic difficulty. So the first thing we do when you're playing on heroic difficulty is every single one of your gear locks is going to start with 1 extra hit point, and they're going to get 1 level up or skill up or 1 skill training point, whatever you want to call it. And you decide how you want to spend the training point. Well, I don't play Tantrum that much, but I know that Tantrum basically has 1 good strength and 1 good weakness. If you control his rage, he's great. If you can't control his rage, he's terrible, and he's not going to be that great on the field, and he's going to go ahead and die quite a bit. He doesn't have any defense, doesn't have a lot of hit points, he can take a lot of beatings, but that's how he actually raises his rage, is by taking beatings. You have to control the beatings he's taking. Too many beatings and his rage die is never going to help him at all. So knowing that, we're going to take Like a Kobold as our first level up for Tantrum. That's our level up for Tantrum. We're done. Going to Patches. Patches, we're playing a 2 gear lock game. That means Patches has to do a dual duty role. Patches has to play healer for Tantrum, who's going to get hurt a lot. But Patches also has to be a lot more supportive and also has to be able to do a little bit of damage himself. But it's also great to get lots of loot, because loot can help you start getting lots of extra things. Because let's face it, loot and trove loot is some of the best fun and some of the awesome things about the game. The loot helps you defeat the baddies. Without loot, the game gets really tough, gets really challenging, and it gets very much more of a randomness of the luck of the dice. Of course, there's skill involved, yes, we know this, but without the loot, it gets a little more challenging because you're not going to get the consumables, you're not going to get the bonuses, you're not going to get the nice, cool things. So having said that, we have a decision to make. We can take nutrients or we can take medkit. I'm going to take nutrients because I'm hoping that I'm going to get some lucky rolls with nutrients, and if I get some really good rolls with nutrients, maybe I'm going to get some loot, and nutrients can still do double duty, at least do some heals, at least give us some bones. So it means that nutrients, at least half the time, the die is not going to be worthless to us, at least as our very first die. I've got all the various decks all shuffled up. We're ready for a game to be played with Mulmesh. Let's go ahead and start day number 1. And before we get any further, I know this overhead camera is a little bit fuzzy to look at. Unfortunately, my camera is starting to die. I need to buy a new camera. Unfortunately, it's not something that's in the budget right now. Probably won't be in the budget for a while, so I'm hoping this camera lasts a long time. Of course, if you want to help me with that, there's always Patreon, patreon.com/OTSBGR. Let's go ahead and start everything with day number 1. Once human, now worgen. Mulmesh has an insatiable hunger for that which he once was. Knowing there's no going back, he lets that hunger fuel his fury towards any non-ebon Daelorian who stands in his way of exacting vengeance. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to have day number 1. So we're going to start a day counter over here on day number 1. And let's go ahead and figure out what our very first adventure that our Gearlocks are going to encounter. Now again, don't forget, I do have the expansion included here. So we're going to see some more randomized day 1 encounters than you would see just in the basic box set itself. So special encounter, day number 1, quiet in the library. Standing before the Gearlock console is beyond intimidating. Typically, it holds court in the Grand Hall, but this mission is much more hush-hush. Council members insisted this discussion needed to happen in the privacy of the council library. As elder member Nobulus Grint begins to talk, several books on Gearlock biology and biological experimentation can be seen lying open on the table. Nobulus notices the tomes' conspicuousness and quickly closes them, but not before others catch a peek at some fascinating texts. The text reads, "To extend one's vitality, consider artificial means of improving one's biovessel. Each Gearlock may place 3 buff hit points in their prep area, and will get a loot for both of our Gearlocks." Option number 2. The text reads, "Many creatures have skin that has been toughened over time. Learning where and when to strike can limit the effectiveness of this natural defense. Persistence. Reduce the value of all thick-skinned skills by 1 for this adventure." Well, this would be a fantastic card to would have had in the prior adventure where we were fighting against Nom. But I'm trying to think, a lot of the encounters we're going to encounter when we're fighting against Mulmesh, we're going to do a lot of creatures that have poison. We're going to have a lot of creatures that have break. I don't think there's a lot of thick-skinned creatures when you go against Mulmesh. And I am going to say, what the heck, why not? Let's just have fun here. Let's just say that we are going to pick option number 2, which means that persistence. Reduce the value of all thick-skinned skills by 1 for this adventure. That means all encounters that we're going to encounter this adventure, none of them are going to have their full value of thick skin. So any creature has a thick skin of 3, such as Nom, would go down to a thick skin of 2, which means it's going to be easier to hurt these creatures. Let's have some fun. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to get 1 progress point, and we get 1 skill up. Although that's not too exciting, is it? Because you guys would rather see loot and lots of fun. My brain is telling me go for the persistent, but my fact that I want to make this an entertaining video saying, let's not go for persistent, let's go for fun. So we're going to go for fun. Let's go ahead and take option number 1. Option 1 means that every one of our Gearlocks is going to gain a loot. So let's go ahead and figure out which loots our Gearlocks are going to get, one after another. And let's start with Patches loot. First thing Patches is going to get is going to be a Fortune Discovery. Single use. Select one of your consumable skill dice and place it on its spot in the mat. It's now available for use. Well, by Jove, I think I shall. Let's discard that Fortune Discovery and we will take our Poison Dart consumable. I like that a lot. Next up, we have Tantrum. Mixed Berry, single use. Heal yourself for 3 hit points in battle or 5 hit points out of battle. Why, yes, thank you very much. I would love to have that. And now we will go back to our little adventure card right here, and we will see that each Gearlock may place 3 buff hit points into the prep area for the next fight. That is something very easy to do. So 1, 2, 3 prep hit points or buff hit points, and 1, 2, 3 buff hit points. Now remember, if you're not too familiar with the game of Too Many Bones, buff hit points are never part of your Gearlock. They don't stop true damage. It's just basically like a little bit of a damage shield to help you just a little bit. We are done with this card. We will go ahead and take this card, slip it underneath Mulmesh to signify that we have 1 day of progress towards the minimum 6 we need to encounter Mulmesh. We can now go ahead and finish this round by going to the recovery phase. Now during the recovery phase, the first thing we get to do is trade any loots. We don't want to trade loots because healer doesn't need heals. Tantrum does. We already know that. Next, each Gearlock may make 1 lock-picking attempt if we had any. No lock-picking attempts to worry about. So now each Gearlock gets to make 1 decision. They can try to get better loot. We're not going to do that at all because we know that is just not a great idea because we already have a good loot we like. So option number 2 is we can heal. Well, we're not hurt. Don't need to do that. Option number 3 is scouting. So let's go and start scouting with Patches first. First scouting roll is going to be a mighty number 6. Well, let's go ahead and look at the first baddie, which is going to be a level 5 or 5-point baddie, and we will reveal, aha, Secrete 2 Poison 1, a Bog Deserter. Now, Bog Deserter is one of the baddies that does come with the expansion. If you have the base game, you're not going to see these. Doesn't matter either way. They're very, very nasty. Basically, what Secrete does, that means that anytime you hit this baddie, you're going to take a poison 2 counter. Every time he hits you, he's going to give you a poison 1 counter. He also rolls 2 attack dice, has 6 hit points, and has 3 initiative. So I don't have any ranged attacks. I don't have any ranged abilities. So basically, Secrete is going to be an absolute pain in the neck for us. And I'm sitting here thinking that I don't think I want to deal with him. I don't like this baddie. Let us go ahead and put him on the bottom of the stack, and we will be done with that. And I think poison, bad. We're done. So next up, now we get to have Tantrum, who's going to go ahead and go do some scouting. Tantrum will, technically that's a 5. I'll re-roll it again just so I can be officially fair. We will roll a 1, which means we will go ahead and figure out what our level 1 baddie happens to be. And, well, we see the theme. I was right. I was thinking Mulmesh was the poison guy. I just couldn't remember off the top of my head. And I was right. So, poison 2, he really doesn't attack you. He just keeps poisoning you left, right, and center. So that means that I definitely want to get, I think it's Way of the Wild, if I remember correctly, which allows me to get rid of abilities on bad guys. If I can get Way of the Wild, I think everything will be okay. We still have our skill up to do that I haven't taken care of because all I did was do a progress before this, and I actually should have did that first. Sorry, I'm going out of order, but you all will forgive me. Just because I'm trying to make this nice and fun and exciting. So, well, I guess I'm kind of cheating right now because I'm going to keep him on top, and that's going to tell me that for my skill ups, which I knew I was going to do anyways, I'm going to take Way of the Wild, and then we need to figure out what we're going to do for Patches, and I think Patches is going to take Medkit because those are nice standards for our level 1 over here for our skill up over here that I completely forgot to do because guess what? Distracted. Moving on. That is going to finish all of day number 1. Let's go to day number 2. Let's advance the turn counter to day number 2. And all of our heroes are ready for day number 2. Let's go ahead and figure out what kind of fun we are going to have for day number 2 by grabbing our next special encounter card showing day number 2, Honor Thy Griffin. A dart protrudes from its neck, indicating it has been struck with some sort of sleeping toxin. Otherwise seen in honor in Griffin in Otherwise seen an honor Griffin in such a defenseless position would surely be a setup for a trap. Not that it couldn't be a trap anyways. There's plenty of reason for anything harboring ill intent to camp outside the gates of Omidar in hopes of a quick bit of thievery. All the same, there's an opportunity to get a free couple of strikes on this Griffin before it fights back, or perhaps attempt to hop on and go for a ride to rain down destruction from above. Option number 1, take out the Griffin before it comes to. Baddie Q is Baddie Q points, plus add an Honor Griffin, which has 20 point baddie. Sure, no problem. Place Honor Griffin on baddie melee starting position in lane number 1, ignoring its add additional monsters ability. Honor Griffin starts with only 3 hit points and is stunned for the first 2 rounds. Use stun effect die to show this. Option 2, take the Griffin for a joyride. Baddie Q is baddie points. Choose a single gearlock to gain +2 dex and the skill Flight. Place gearlock chip stack on Griffin. At the start of round 5, the gearlock is thrown from the Griffin and takes 5 damage. Remove Griffin from play and leave gearlock in position. Wow. Gain 2 dex. That is just way, way, way too awesome. That is effectively, that's skill up right there, but instead of just gaining the skill up, one person is going to gain 2 skill ups. That is just stupidly, insanely awesome. Because Patches, his biggest thing is dexterity. He needs to get at least to a 3 or 4 dexterity. That way he can be rolling all his healing dice, plus rolling defense and all that magical stuff. This almost seems like an obvious one. Choose a single gearlock to gain +2 dex and the skill Flight. Place gearlock chip stack on Griffin. At the start of round 5, the gearlock is thrown from the Griffin and takes 5 damage. Remove Griffin from play and leave gearlock in position. That just seems stupidly, stupidly awesome. Although to be fair, before I make a decision on this, I should actually see how tough the Honor Griffin is, for the simple fact that I can see having Flight on one of our heroes being very, very detrimental to us, because if we have Flight, that means every other turn, one of my gearlocks is going to be untargetable, and I don't think that's going to be a smart decision for our party. I think if I was playing a 3 or 4 player game, it actually sounds pretty darn cool. looking at the game we have going on right now, though, I don't think it's going to be a good idea for a two-player game. Because I think what's going to happen is we're going to end up getting flight, and one of our guys is going to end up getting absolutely bombarded while the other person's in flight, and I'm not liking that. So the Honor Griffin, let's go ahead and look at just how nasty the Honor Griffin happens to be. He's only going to have 3 hit points. He's going to have initiative of 5. He has 5 attack. He's not going to bring any of his friends in. We just got to worry about if he gets a double bones, he's going to stun. He has dive, and he has flight. So he's going to start in position number 1. He only has 3 hit points, and he's stunned for the first 2 rounds. So basically, I just have to do 3 points of damage to him in the first 2 rounds. I don't think that's actually tough. I'm actually thinking, now that I really think about it, I think option number 1 is going to be much more fun and much more better for us. So just to show you what stun does, what stun is going to do is we're going to place a stun effect die on the target, and the target loses its next turn. Negative effects still apply to it, such as poison and everything like that. So I think we're actually just going to do that. That actually sounds like this might be a little bit more interesting and a little bit more entertaining. I think I'm going to do that. That's going to be my final decision. We're going to take option number 1 for this battle, so let's go ahead and start the battle and figure out exactly what's going to happen here. First thing we need to do is we need to build the baddie queue. So the baddie queue is going to be baddie points plus the Honor Griffin. We're on day 2. We have 2 gear locks. That means our baddie queue is going to be 4. So we know we have the poison toad or the bog frog. That's 2. There's 3. There is 4 of our baddie queue points, just like that. The Honor Griffin is going to go into the baddie queue. First thing that's going to happen to it is we're going to place it in the melee starting position in lane number 1, which is right there, and it's going to have a whole 3 hit points. And it is going to be stunned. Initiative is going to be 5. Just like that, nice and easy. And yeah, so number 2 is going to be a bog frog. It'll take initiative tracker number 2. It needs 4 hit points. Its initiative is going to be a 3, so we'll put this simply on the 3, just like that. Target number 3 is going to be, a dragon whelp ranged. Only has 2 hit points, not too terrible. 2 attack, 1 defense, and its initiative is going to be 5, which means it's probably going to be going before us. Although Tantrum can roll a 6 for his initiative, so it won't be impossible for us to go first. And then finally, we're going to have 1 baddie left over outside the baddie queue, but our final baddie is going to be another dragon hatchling, another ranged attacker. He will come into the baddie queue with 3 hit points. I foresee this being a lot of fun. And by fun, I mean maybe not so much. Well, this is just going to change up all of our excitement quite a bit. Let's go and roll our initiative. Luckily, we have heals. Unfortunately, we're going to need them because we are not going to get the dice rolling in our favor. Who do I want to go first? Do I want Tantrum to go first, or do I want Patches to go first? Probably Patches to patch up Tantrum is going to take a heck of a beating. So let's have Patches go first. That will be our entire baddie queue. Oh, this is going to be nice and exciting and interesting. Okay, he's stunned for the first 2 rounds. 2 full rounds of being stunned. Not horrible. I can make this work. Plus we have the buff hit points, so it's actually not going to be as tragic as we think it is. So let's go and put our heroes out there on the board. Both of our heroes are melee gear locks. That means they're going to start off in melee spaces. And weekend is terrible. And golf is not too bad. Weekend is going to be the biggest thing that we need to worry about, because weekend is going to be the biggest detriment to us, because weekend is going to means we're going to place a weekend effect die on the target. The Gearlock's dex is going to be reduced by the number the next turn. So it's going to be a weekend one. So his dex will go down by 1. He's going to target the one with the most hit points, which should be Patches. So the first thing that's going to happen is he's going to activate, and he's going to use Engulf. He's going to attack the weakest. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Tantrum right there. That way when he launches his Engulf at Tantrum, that means that Tantrum is going to also get hit along with the Honor Griffins, which means that I want to put Patches right there because it's going to be, Engulf is going to go off and he's going to be stunned, and then he's going to weaken. That's going to be weakening on Tantrum again, so he's going to get the weaken on him, and then finally the heroes get to go. I think that's what we're going to do. That actually seems to work out best for our heroes, and that also seems to give us the best chance of survival. At least I'm hoping so. So let's go ahead and start the very first round of battle. The first thing we need to do before we do anything, we got to do our pre-battle effects, which means that Tantrum's rage die is going to go up here, and his rage is going to be set to 1. I imagine that's going to start skyrocketing here very, very, very quickly. So, start of the battle, let's do the very first thing we're going to do, and the first thing that's going to happen is we'll activate the green range 4 creature, which has the ability of Engulf, and that's going to be the dragon hatchling who's going to use his Engulf power on us. So we're going to look over here. We see that it's going to roll 1 attack die with its Engulf power. So let's go ahead and roll 1 attack die. And this is going to be versus Tantrum. And Tantrum is going to take 1 whole point of damage. So Tantrum loses a hit point, but this also means that the Honor Griffin is also going to lose a hit point. So that's actually worth it right there. So remember, anytime Tantrum takes damage, he's going to tick up his Tantrum die or his rage die just by 1 every point of damage he takes. So let's go ahead and do that. And actually, I completely forgot we got buff hit points. So our rage die is not going to go up because, actually no, I take that back. I do believe buff hit points for Tantrum do count as hit points lost for his rage die. If I'm wrong, somebody can easily correct me in the comments down below, but I'm pretty sure that hit points or buff hit points will still tick up our rage die. So we'll lose that point from our buff hit points. Our rage will still go up by 1 point. That's going to be it for the Dragon Hatchling's turn. The next thing that's going to activate is going to be the Honor Griffin, which is stunned, so it does nothing for the first round. So next up is going to be the Dragon Whelp, which is going to target the strongest current, which is going to be Patches. So it's going to roll 2 attack dice and 1 defense die. So we'll roll 2 attack dice and 1 defense die to see exactly what is going to happen to Patches. We'll get 2 points of damage, which is going to be 1, 2 from our buff hit points. And we'll get 1 defense, not too terrible. Problem, we now have weaken on us. So let's go ahead and grab a weaken level number 1 on us. Reminds us that we have lost 1 point of dex, which means we only have 1 point of dexterity left. Oh well, not too terrible. We're only going to roll 1 die anyways, because that's all we really need to do. So now, let us go ahead and figure out exactly what we are going to do with Patches. It's now Patches' turn, and Patches is going to... Oh, I could do 2 things here. I actually have a couple different choices for Patches. I can go ahead and roll his defense die, which means he's not going to take any more damage, and life won't be too terrible for him. I know that this creature next turn is going to attack Tantrum again. I know that this Poison Frog is going to go ahead and attack Patches, so I'm thinking... Well, defense won't really matter there at all, will it? Because that's just how that works. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend... I only have 2 points of dexterity. Technically only 1 because of the weekend. I'm just going to go ahead and roll the magical green die here, and hopefully I'll get some loot, or maybe I'll get some bones, or maybe I'll get some cool, or maybe something really nice and awesome will happen for us. Let's figure out what's going to happen. We will get... Yes, I'm going to take that. That is going to be a loot. Let's go ahead and figure out what loot we are going to gain. Flip over a loot card and we will get a Tawaran gem. Single use. Merchants will offer you a trove loot chest in exchange for this gem. Replace this card with a trove loot during your recovery phase. This does not take place... this does not take the place of a recovery phase. The rarest of gems in Daelore. Gilly's been gazing into it for hours. Still hasn't blinked. Boomer's journal. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. No matter what happens, this die right here, this magical little die, has paid for itself in spades. Okay, so that is going to be it for Patches. Now we get to go ahead and see what we want to do with Tantrum. Tantrum still has 3 dexterity. I am thinking that this may be a great time to get like a kobold going. It could also be a great time to get Way of the Wild going. It could also be a great time to do a lot of things. We just need to figure out what's going to be best for us. So I'm thinking with Tantrum, the best thing we can do is we need to disable this poison as quick as possible. I know this guy's not going to activate for another round, so don't need to worry about him. He's not going to activate until the 3rd round. And even when he does activate, the only thing to worry about is the fact that he rolls 5 attack dice. It only hurts a lot. But if I play this right, I can make this happen. The only thing that's going to be very terrible about this decision I'm about to make is it does mean that poor old Patches is going to take some damage from the engulf. Life happens. Let's go ahead and make this happen. So we're going to spend one of our decks to move 1 space over just like so. And then with the remaining 2 points of decks, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place Way of the Wild. And we're going to take 1 of our attack dice since we only have 2 decks left over. Our target is Mr. Bog Frog. Let's go ahead and cause some pain to the Bog Frog. There you go, perfect. So this is going to disable the Bog Frog. He will have no poison ability at all for the rest of the fight. And we'll do 1 point of damage to the Bog Frog. Effectively meaning the Bog Frog is going to be not a problem for us at all. That's going to be the end of good old Tantrum's turn. Let's go ahead and activate the Bog Frog, which is going to try to poison us by doing his poison thing. It's going to go poison, but nothing's going to happen because of that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Way of the Wild. I swear Way of the Wild is just so darn awesome. It could possibly be one of the best early abilities in the game. That and like a kobold. They're just that darn good. Seriously, it's just that darn good. So he is disabled. That die is going to be exhausted. Let's go ahead and add a disable effect to them. And that is going to be the end of round number 1. So let's go to tick us up to round number 2 and start the top of round number 2. The very first thing that's going to happen is this dragon hatchling is going to go ahead and use his engulf power. He's got 1 attack and he is going to target the one with the least amount of hit points, which unfortunately is still Tantrum, who I forgot to tick up his rage die on his attack on the last turn. I might forget to do that a few times. I may have to do a little retconning a little bit when I occasionally forget. I'm not a big Tantrum player. He's not one of my favorite gear locks. I mean, he's fun, don't get me wrong. He's just not the one I play all the time. So I need to play him more often so I can get better at him. Anyways, so he's at 1.4, and now this thing is going to use its engulf power. It is going to target Tantrum, which means it's going to hit all 3 of these targets right there. We will roll. We will take 1 point of damage. So that means that Tantrum will lose 1 buff hit point. That does mean that Patches will lose his 1 buff hit point. But also means this Bog Frog is also going to lose its 1 hit point. I'm happy with that. I am perfectly fine with that. That works out just fine for me. That is its turn. The next thing that is going to happen is initiative number 2 is going to occupy for the Honor Griffin. Remember, I got to take him out by the end of this round. Otherwise, he's going to make our life extra, extra miserable. Next up that's going to happen is going to be the Dragon Whelp, who is going to target whoever has the most amount of hit points. That's going to be Patches again, and since he has 1 defense die already, that means he's only going to roll 2 attack dice, and he's probably going to weaken Patches all over again. And he is. So since Patches doesn't have any buff hit points left, we will lose those 2 hit points. Don't worry, we're going to gain 1 of those back at the start of his turn thanks to his innate power. But unfortunately, we now have that weakened 1 on us again, which is going to get very, very frustrating very quickly if I don't get him taken care of. I can make that happen. I'm not too worried about that. That is going to be it. So, simply start of the turn. We now have Patches start of the turn. He's going to heal his 1 hit point from his innate, which means that both of our Gearlocks have the same amount of hit points, which means they're going to be tied for most and least, meaning I can kind of control how that's going to happen. We do have a weakened 1 left over right now. I'm going to spend my only 1 measly point of dex to go ahead and move up just like that. This is a lesson to make sure you get dex as quickly as possible. That is going to be it. So now we get to go up to Tantrum's turn. So Tantrum for his turn needs to take out this Honor Griffin. We will spend 1 point of our dex moving right there. We'll spend our other 2 points of our dex to attack, and we are attacking the Honor Griffin. Let's go ahead and make the Honor Griffin end his days. We will do 3 points of damage. That ends his days. He is out of the fight. We'll remove that die. We'll take the Honor Griffin and put him in the 20-point baddie stack. And now we know that this baddie right there is going to be coming out on the board pretty darn soon. It's going to be the Bog Frog. So he will attack here. He will do nothing because he has been disabled. And that is going to be it. That is going to end round number 2. Let's go ahead and move over to round number 3. And before we do that, this guy is going to come onto the board. His initiative will be on the bottom, and we will see that it is, not fun. Not fun at all. Break can be nice and super duper nasty if it's not taken care of as quick as possible. Right about now, I'm really, really, really wanting, like a worm, to take care of that guy's problem right there as quickly as possible. So, kind of lets us know our priorities for this round very, very, very quickly. He needs to go, and he needs to go as quick as possible. Unfortunately, he is going to activate first. So the first thing is going to activate. Top of round 3 is he's going to activate, which means he's going to roll 1 combat die. 1 whole combat die. I can pick my 2 targets here. Originally, I was thinking I was going to attack Patches, because if he attacks Patches right over here, that means the Bog Frog is going to take a point of damage. The Bog Frog is actually, he's nothing. He is basically a speed bump as far as I'm concerned. So since both these guys have the same amount of hit points, I can break ties in my favor. I'm going to make him target Tantrum. And again, I forgot to tick him up when he attacked last round, just because I forgot. Let's go in and fix that. So he is going to engulf on Tantrum. He gets 1 attack die. Let's go ahead and roll our attack die right here. And we'll do 1 point of damage, which will come out of our buff hit points, because remember, we still have 1 buff hit point left over. Let's go ahead and take that buff hit point away, but the nice thing is the Clay Golem will also take a point of damage. That is going to be it for the Dragon Hatchling's turn. Next up is going to be the Dragon Whelp. So Dragon Whelp, again, we have a tie. So since we have a tie for hit points, I think it's going to be smarter for him to again target Patches. I just think that's the better idea. And I'll just have Patches roll defense dice for his action on his turn that's coming up, because he's also going to heal 1 hit point, hopefully. So we have 2 attack dice versus poor Patches. Let's see what happens to Patches. He takes 1 point of damage. There is no bone effect, so we don't need to worry about that. So Patches normally take 1 point of damage. I'm just going to stick it right there, because we're about to get that back here very quickly, right at the start of Patches' turn. So get our hit point back. We have 1 dexterity. Let us go ahead and use that for a defense die. And we will get a bones. Well, the bones had to start eventually, right? Not too terrible. Next up is going to be Tantrum. Now Tantrum, I am going to do something slightly different. I think Tantrum is going to go 1 dex, 2 dex, just like that. And then we're going to, like a kobold, actually, no, we're not going to like a kobold just yet. He only rolls 1 attack die. Not too terribly worried about that. We spent 2 points of dex. We still have 1 attack. Let's go ahead and take care of this. Oh, no, the only thing I'm doing is remove his defense. That's dumb. That is what we like to refer to as a very, very bad idea. I don't like that idea at all. Let's see here. Now we really, really got to decide what we want to do. We only have 1 point of dexterity left. It's actually dumb for me to do anything except like a kobold. Like a kobold will prevent me from taking too much damage because, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I could do is I can make him and him and him all target Tantrum. So like a kobold is probably my best option. I have 1 dex left over. Tantrum, you're not going to get to rage this turn. It's okay. Life could be worse. You are going to go ahead and like a kobold it, which means you have the ability of Hardy level 1 for 1 entire round. Actually, does that lock or active? I forget. Is that a lock or an active die for him? I believe it is a active, right? Yep, active counter. So that will be perfect for him. So now we get to go back to the bad guys. Very first bad guy is going to be the Bog Frog. He is going to do absolutely nothing. Next up is going to be the Clay Golem, who is going to attack Tantrum. Now he gets to roll 1 attack die, and it doesn't matter what I roll here, the most Tantrum can take is 1 point of damage. Even though I rolled a 2, he's only going to take 1 point of damage. We'll remove that 1 hit point, and we'll tick our rage die up to 1.8. Unfortunately, we are going to lose our rage, although I don't have to lose our rage if I really don't want to. I can actually keep his rage, and then he can go ahead and kill any 1 point baddie on the board. I think we're going to do that. That's actually a heck of a lot smarter. So let's play smart instead of playing dumb. Let's go ahead and go to round number 4. Let's go ahead and advance our tracker right here. The very first thing that's going to happen is our dragon hatchling gets to attack. So now he's going to attack whoever has the least amount of hit points. Darn it. Didn't plan well enough. I should have did this differently. Oh well. So, best laid plans of mice and men. So he is going to engulf Tantrum there. My hope, maybe this will actually work out for the benefit of us. I won't get the rage, but if I roll a 2, this is going to be awesome. Come on, roll a 2. Or 1. So, Tantrum will take 1 point of damage. The clay golem will take 1 point of damage. And this defense die is going to be removed. Next up is going to be the Dragon Whelp, who's going to attack the Gearlock with the most amount of hit points, which is going to be Patches. 2 attack, 1 defense. Let's see what happens. Well, there is 2 points of damage to poor Patches. 2 points of damage to poor Patches. We'll get a bone, which does nothing, but again, we will be weakened all over again, which is starting to get rather frustrating. Next up, Patches gets to go. Patches is going to self-patch for 1. That means we have 1 dex left over. And then I think the smartest thing, probably not the most exciting thing, but probably the smartest thing to do is just going to be 1 defense die for us. I'm going to roll the defense die, and that way Patches can kind of absorb a little bit of damage with her remaining dex. And I'll have 1 defense. That's not too terrible. Could have been worse, could have been better. So that's going to be it for Patches' turn. So now we get to go to Tantrum. Tantrum, you need to do something exciting that does not involve the clay golem, because that's just not going to be smart right now. You need to roll 3 attack dice, and you need to roll 3 hits. And you need to do it right now. But we only have 3 hit points left. Let's see here. How's the damage going to play out? Let me figure this out. If I don't kill it, that's not going to kill me. It could kill me. I don't want to use mixed berries yet. So right now, Tantrum cannot roll any defense dice at all. He doesn't have any defense dice to roll. I have 3 attack dice. Basically, this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that I can roll 3 attack dice and take him out. If I roll 3 attack dice, and if every one of these is a hit, I'm going to take him out, and then we're going to break because we can't control rage. Oh well, life happens. No way to affect that at this point. Here's the problem. If I don't roll well enough and I don't take him out, that means Patches is not going to live. So I'm going to have to use my body count die to heal 1 hit point to ensure that I'm going to live. So this disappears at the start of a round, is exhausted because we no longer have like a kobold. Let's hope we're attacking him. The Dragon Whelp needs to die. Death to the Dragon Whelp and figures. Absolutely figures. So we're going to do 2 points of damage. 1 damage for the defense die. 1 damage right there. Gosh darn it, way to let me down there, Patches. Or Tantrum, sorry. We're going to tick this down so we heal 1, because otherwise we're just not going to survive another round. And it's just going to be misery upon misery upon misery otherwise. I didn't want to do it, but I really did not have any other options. So let's go back to the battle mat here. Frog does nothing. Okay. Clay Golem is going to attack the nearest hero. Let's see what he does with his 1 attack die, and he will do 1 point damage. That 1 point damage we is healed is now gone. Okay, round number 5. Top of the round, the very first thing that's going to happen is the Dragon Hatchling is going to attack. He is going to target whoever has the least amount of hit points. That's going to be Tantrum. He's going to roll 1 attack die and get a bones. You were supposed to roll a hit to take him out. Way to not be in my favor, dice. Way to not be in my favor. So that means that the Dragon Whelp is going to attack. He is going to attack good old Patches there, which means Patches is going to get a weakened die on him. Oh joy. Let's see what's going to happen this time. Wow. Just about creamed Patches in one fell swoop. So he's going to get 1 point of damage, or 1 point of defense. We will lose our defense die that we have over here on Patches. That prevents 1 point of damage. We'll take 3 points damage. 1, 2, 3. Leaving us with 1 hit point. Of course, the dice can't roll like that when I need them to, because that would be asking for a lot. We can't have that. So, next up, top of the round, we have a weaken effect on us because of the dumb dragon. We're going to heal for 1 hit point, which means we have 2 hit points left. And we have 1 action we can do. Obviously, it's going to be to roll a defense die, because otherwise we're not going to live, because, yeah, that's just how it's going. Defense die. This is just stupid at this point. So we have 2 bones. Not enough to do needle jab. Well, I guess we're going to spend them and we're going to heal 1, because otherwise we're not going to survive another round, because apparently we're just going to roll insanely stupidly high dice. Next up is going to be Tantrum. Tantrum, can you at least pull your weight? You have 3 hit points left. You have 1 bones. This is back down to 1. I forgot to do that in my turn. That actually might be at 1.2. Yes, it's going to be at 1.2, because when he did his engulf, that would put us at 1.2. So let's go ahead and attack. We have 3 attack dice for Tantrum. Tantrum is going to attack the Dragon Whelp. And we will do, this will break back his defense. This will take away his last hit point. We'll remove that. Dragon Whelp will be removed from the board. We will get 1 bones. Hey, we are now at 2 bones. Let's go ahead and tick us up to a 1.4, which we could technically cash in for 4 bones right now, but I'm really hoping beyond hopes we may actually get our rage die to work in our favor today. So that is going to be it for Tantrum's turn. Next thing that's going to happen is the frog is going to go and do absolutely nothing. We should be on round 5, sorry. Frog is going to do absolutely nothing, and this means that the golem is now going to take its action. Then the fatigue round is going to happen, and this is all going to get all kinds of nasty on us. So, the clay golem is going to attack Tantrum. We will roll 1 point of damage. Tantrum will take 1 point of damage. And that does mean that we are going to tick up our rage die, and we're going to go to a 1.6. And then we get to go to the magical fatigue round, which is going to make life extra fun for all of our heroes. So you're going to take 1 point of damage. You will take 1 point of damage. You are going to take 1 point of damage. 1 point of damage. And 1 whole point of damage. This is going to be very fun and exciting here very quickly. Top of the round, the very first thing that's going to happen is a dragon hatchling is going to shoot, and he is going to shoot a Tantrum. If I roll anything but a bones, Tantrum is flat out dead, and that's going to be the end of life for Tantrum. Game over for Tantrum, knocked unconscious. That means we're probably going to lose this fight, because I don't see how in the heck we're going to be able to win at this point. Yeah, maybe we could. It's just going to be long and drawn out. Well, let's see what happens. Yes! So he's going to engulf over here. It's going to do no damage to Tantrum, thank goodness. Okay, so that is it for the Dragon Hatchling. The next thing that's going to activate is, you are out, forgot to remove you, sorry. So next thing that's going to happen is going to be Patches. Now Patches at the start of his turn gets to heal 1 hit point. He may live through this. I actually have 2 dice to roll. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely amazing. And I think Patches is going to do what he does best. He's going to heal. So we're going to roll our 2 dice because we have 2 dexterity. One of our dice is going to be our med kit, and it's going to be applied to Patches, and the other one is going to be a defense die. So we're going to hope beyond hope that we're going to live. Let's see what happens. Well, that was just terrible. Okay, so we got 3 hit points of heals, and we got a bones. So we're going to burn all 3 of that heal to heal Patches for 3 hit points, because otherwise Patches, or I'm not, sorry, not Patches, Tantrum, otherwise Tantrum is just done for, absolutely 100% done for. That is it. Now we're going to go to good old Tantrum. Now when Tantrum hits that clay golem, the break ability is going to go off. Break says that any attack dice used to reduce this unit's hit points must be exhausted, and that says any attack dice used to do so. He has 2 hit points left. At this point, I think it's actually stupid to attack him, and I think I'm better off just letting him die to the natural decay of the fatigue. And I'm better off positioning myself in a way to at least let the engulf start working for us. So instead of doing anything at all, I am, actually darn it, if I can only get 1 more bones, or get 1 more hit, or could do a recoup. It's just not worth it. Okay, we have 3 points movement because we have 3 dexterity. So we look right here, 3 dex, that gives us 3 points movement. I have 2 bones. I could use it to do a calm down, but I'm gonna save it. Let's go ahead and just go 1, 2, and finally 3. That is all of our dexterity spent. That's gonna be it for Tantrum's turn. Next thing up is gonna be the Bog Frog, who does absolutely nothing. Next thing up is going to be the Clay Golem. Clay Golem will move 1 space and roll 1 attack die versus Tantrum. And of course, we're gonna do 2 damage because, you know, that guarantees that we're not gonna be able to rage properly. That is gonna be 1 nasty golem. So we're gonna go from 1.6 to a 1.8, and the second hit point is gonna take us to a 2.0, as in, uh-oh. So, top of the round, everybody is going to take 1 point of damage again. 1 point of damage, 1 point of damage, 1 point of damage. You are actually finally removed, so that is a good thing. 1 point of damage, not a good thing. And 1 point of damage, also could be worse. Okay, so now this gets to be really, really funny, because what's going to happen is this dragon hatchling most likely is going to end the fight for all of us, because he's going to attack the weakest. The weakest is going to be Tantrum. Tantrum's going to die. It's going to kill itself, and then it's going to kill this clay golem. And then Patches is going to walk off the battlefield all nice and happy. Let's go ahead and watch this happen just now. First of all, let's pull that die off the board because it doesn't do anything. First up, Dragon Hatchling is going to go. Dragon Hatchling is going to target whoever has the least amount of hit points. That's Tantrum. He's going to roll 1 attack die. Let's see what happens. He's going to do 1 point of damage. So Tantrum's going to take 1 point of damage and get removed. The Engulf is going to hit him for 1 point of damage. He is going to be removed. And then it's going to hit itself for 1 point of damage. It is also going to be removed from the battlefield. And that is it for this very, very long run out battle for all of our heroes. Battle is over. Let's go ahead and clean things up and start, or at least go to our reward phase and then go to our recovery phase. And a win is a win. I'll take that as a win. So let's go ahead and go to our reward phase. It says first thing we're going to get is we're going to get 1 skill up for every one of our heroes. So first thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and start with Patches right here. Patches obviously needs dexterity. So let's go ahead and give him 1 point of dexterity. I think that's going to help him quite the most here. So it's going to put us at 3 dexterity. And I think for Tantrum, Tantrum actually needs defense. Let's see if we can raise our defense. Again, we see where this is going. Okay, we're going to raise our defense by 1.4 Tantrum. So now we have 1 point of defense because we see how much Tantrum is just getting the brunt end of everything. So now we get our next thing, which is going to be another skill up. So for our second skill up, we actually have lots of options here, but I am thinking that Rage or Like a Worm. No. Tantrum's getting dex. We're going to take a point of dexterity for the Tantrum. I think that's almost a no-brainer. That way I can roll 4 dice, which means all my attack dice and my defense die every turn. That's probably the better decision right now. So for the other level up, we're going to go over to Patches, and I think Patches is going to go for attack, or at least try to go for attack. Let's see where that ends up with us. We're going to get a point of attack. So our attack is now up to 2 for Patches. So that's both our skill ups. Now we get some treasure loot to go for. But before this, merchants will offer you a trove loot chest in exchange for this gem. Replace this card with a trove loot during your recovery phase. We're not in the recovery phase yet. So we're still in the reward phase. So let's go ahead and get that loot. So the first thing we'll get is a loot for Patches. And that's going to be reflex powder for Patches. Reroll any 1 die on your turn, including training, lockpicking, and initiative. Well, I'm sure I'm going to be putting that to a heck of a lot of good use the way I'm going so far. I foresee that getting lots of use. All 2 charges. Next up is going to be the loot for Tantrum, who is going to get a Fortune Discovery. Select one of your consumables and place it in a spot on your mat is now available for use. Horn of the Zerker, or do I max out Axe Collector? I believe I can max out Axe Collector, correct? Remind me if I'm wrong here. Let's see here. Discovery Loot, let's see. Fortune Discovery Loot maxes his skill to 3 axes. And Horn of the Zerker, what does that do again? Just quick reminder, Horn of the Zerker. Lots of bones. Reusable bones. May use this in your backup plan after use placed back in a skill slot. Until we get Party Inspire, all Gearlocks move to the top of the initiative meter at the end of the round. And then we're finally looking for Disoriented. Place stun effect die on all 5-point baddies or less. Well, so basically, unless we get an inspiration or a stun, it's just going to basically keep coming back for us. I'm going to max out Axe Collector, I think, because I'm not leveled up yet. I think that's going to be a smarter decision. Let's go ahead and max out Axe Collector. We'll get rid of the Fortune Discovery, and we'll put Axe Collector all the way up to 3, which I think is our max level. Correct, right? Yes. So we have 3 axes. I think that's going to be good. So that's it for the loot. Now we get to go to the recovery phase for all of our Gearlocks here. So do we want to do any trading? No. Well, not yet. We don't know if we want to do any trading yet, but let's first take care of this thing first. We're going to discard that, and then we are going to gain a trove loot right there. So now we can do a lock-picking attempt really, really quick here. So let's go ahead and start with Patches on his very first one, and we got a lever, we got a trip, and we got a force. So we're going to roll all the dice, and we'll get, and again, this is for Patches lock-picking attempt. Let's see here. Well, not the best start in the world. Well, that's a complete failure, so let's see if rolling them on the mat is going to make any difference for us, because that was just miserable. And we will get, well, that's what we got there. So this action right there is going to be pretty darn decent for us. This is actually a decent thing, because with this we can allow us to re-roll a die, which we need to do. I need to figure out which one is going to get the highest lever. Which one was the lever die? It's not that one. This one that gets the lever? Nope. Yes, that one can get 3 lever, and this one that gets the force. Okay, so we're going to re-roll this die right here, and we'll get a trip. Okay, so we did not accomplish unlocking the trove loot at all. So that's going to be it for Patch's turn. Now Tantrum gets a chance to see if he's unlocked the trove loot. First attempt, re-roll them all. Activating this die. That didn't do it. Well, guess what? We're not unlocking any of this treasure trove loot at all. Okay, so that's just the way the dice are going to treat us today. So that is it for that. Now we get to go to the individual rewards, because we are not going to do any trading at all for any of our heroes. So we're going to rest and recover, or rest and recover. I think, by Jove, we are all going to rest and recover because otherwise we're doomed. So good old Patches is going to gain 4 hit points back that he lost. Tantrum is going to gain back all 5 of the hit points he lost because he took a good beating, which is, you know, part of the Berserker's little job. So that is going to be the end of day number 2. It was a very exciting day number 2. Let us now go over to day number 3 and see if we make things go just a little bit better for our heroes. So, advancing to day number 3. And let's see what kind of encounter we will get on day number 3. Hopefully this is going to get a heck of a lot better for us because right now it's looking kind of grim. The grass is always greener. It appears the ebb and control is, It appears the ebb and control of the bridge today. 3rd time this week. Interesting, the Bridgemaster's gruff demeanor is off-putting. He's charging anyone who wants to cross today an arm and a leg, and from the growing pile of severed appendages, his price is non-negotiable. Other options for passage would be preferred. There have always been rumors of a troll living underneath the bridge, though few have chanced an encounter with it. In terms of Gearlock achievements, successfully sneaking across the Ciberon underneath a bridge might be the greatest of all time. 3 options. Option 1. Face the Bridgemaster. There are some who call him Tim. Obviously we know where that reference is from. Baddie Q is baddie points. At the start of the battle, designate baddie with the most hit point as Bridgemaster. Place D6 on this unit. Bridgemaster has +1 attack. Lovely. Option number 2, and this is going to be 3rd day, 2 Gearlocks. It means we're going to have a 5-point baddie and a 1-point baddie. I already see where this is going. Option number 2, see you on the other side. Sneaking down beneath the bridge indeed reveals a troll hideout. Baddie Q is baddie points. Replace the highest point baddie with a troll of the same baddie point value. Lovely. Pay an arm and a leg. This seems like a bad idea, like really bad. Persistent. Choose a Gearlock. Skills 3, 4, 7, 8, 11, 12, 15, and 16 are all unavailable to that Gearlock for the remainder of this adventure, but history books will forever hail you as the legendary halfling. Well, that gives us a skill point, but I don't think it's worth getting 3 skill points. That just seems, as said, a really bad idea. We're going to face the Bridgemaster. The baddie queue is going to be baddie points, so let's go ahead and look at our baddie queue really quick. Our baddie queue, since we are on day number 3, 2 Gearlocks means we have 6, so we have a 5-point baddie and we have a 1-point baddie. The start of the battle, one of these is going to be designated as the Bridgemaster. Well, obviously it's going to be probably him since that's whoever has the most amount of hit points. Let's go ahead and figure out what kind of devious fun we get to create for ourselves right here and right now. 5-point baddie will go in lane number 1. It's going to be, a Griffin Howler. That's a wonderful Bridgemaster. See, he's a Bridgemaster because he can just dart all over the board wherever he wants to. You now have +1 attack. Next up is going to be a Kobold Tracker. Lovely. Always, always lovely. Let's see, he's going to have 2 hit points. He has an initiative of 6, and he is going to be a ranged attacker. So, initiative of 5 and initiative of 6. This looks extra, completely 100% extra fun. Our initiative is going to be a 5 and a 3. Well, that could be worse. Let's go and figure out where we're going to put our Gearlocks on this map, and let's start playing really, really smart. Otherwise, this is going to be really, really bad. 4 attack. And somebody whose attack value goes up every single round, and they only take 1 point of damage. What's the worst that can happen? Besides everything. So we know we want to get a disable effect out there as quick as possible, so this is going to be a foregone conclusion. You are going to go there, and then your eventual goal, Patches, is to get up there and kill him as quickly as possible after we take this guy out. We know he's going to get to attack, and he's going to attack the person with the least amount of hit points, so he is going to go ahead and smack Tantrum on the very first round. That's okay. Not much I can do about it. At least I have my mixed berries. Could be worse. Could always, always, always be worse. Let's go and start the round. Very top of the round, the very first thing that is going to happen is our kobold tracker is going to activate. He is going to target whichever one of our heroes has the least amount of hit points, which is going to be Patches. Luckily, we're only around 1, so he rolls 1 attack die, and we will get 1 point of damage to Patches. Let's go ahead and put Patches' rage die out there, and it's going to be put out there at a 1.2. Oh, fun. Oh, fun. Okay, so that is it for that creature. Next up is going to be Tantrum. Tantrum, you need to work some magic. So I know one die you are rolling is going to be Way of the Wild. You will have 3 more points of dex left to go. Okay, I'm thinking like a kobold. I am also thinking a defense die. And I'm also thinking an attack die. So that is all 4 of my dice because I have 4 dexterity and I can definitely do this. Okay, not bad. I'm obviously not going to burn that, so that can go back on like a kobold spot. We will add this on top of this, meaning that he no longer has any of his special abilities, which is going to make our lives so much easier. That'll exhaust that die. We have 2 defense. And we did 1 point of damage, which means we get to tick our anger level up to 1.4. And we'll take off 1 hit point from the Griffin. Not too bad, actually. Next up, time for the Griffin to retaliate. Luckily, the Griffin cannot do any of his special things back to us. I have successfully taken away all of his special abilities, so basically the only thing he's going to do is roll 4 attack dice against me. And luckily, the only thing this can do is, one-shot me. So, 2 removes my defense die. 3, 1, 2, 3. Tantrum, you're doing a great job taking lots and lots of damage. So we took 3 points of damage, so that's 1, 2, and 3 points of damage because our kobold skin did not go off like it was supposed to. Okay. Now it is time for Patches to go. Patches is going to heal himself and kind of laugh maniacally over at Tantrum, who's hurt, and Patches isn't. Okay, so Patches needs to heal. And I think Patches may need to move, which means he's only going to roll 1 defense die. Or do I go for our magical treasure? I think we're going to go for a magical treasure. It worked out so well for us last time. So I think the dice we're going to roll is we're going to move up for 1, because we need to anyways. We're going to hope for some treasure, and then we're going to hope for lots of healing. Basically, I'm doing this because one of these dice have to roll a heal, because otherwise, Tantrum's dead. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's DRT, dead right there. Okay, could have been worse. But we got a treasure. So let's go and heal for 2. And definitely apply that to Tantrum. We will get a treasure and we will draw our loot and we will get, hey, a fortunate discovery. I'm going to save that one. I think I am definitely going to save that for a later date. I think it's going to come in extremely handy in a future date. So that is basically it. Now let's go ahead and start round number 2. Round 2. First thing that's going to happen is the kobold tracker gets to attack, and he does get to roll 2 attack dice. He's going to attack whoever has the least amount of hit points. We know who that is. So good old Tantrum is going to take 2 points of damage. He now has 1 hit point left again. That's looking very, very, sadly, very familiar. Oh boy. Tantrum's turn. So, Tantrum, for your turn, what can you do here to ensure that you're not going to die? Could tick down Axe Collector. Gonna roll a whole bunch of attack dice. If I can kill him, I'm actually okay. Big old if. That's a big, big if. So 3 attack dice and a defense die. Yeah, there's no way he's going to live. Guess we'll be using those mixed berries. So I have 1 defense, which is good. I have 1 bones, which is good. Did 4 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. That is what I like to refer to as extremely good. The griffin will go right there, and initiative die will be removed just like that. Now I need to decide, because I know he is going to attack Patches next turn. There's no way around it. Tantrum is going to get attacked. Our body count just went up by 1 because we killed something. I have 1 defense die. Do I risk it? Or do I toss an axe at him and then save? I want to save the healing potion. I really want to save the healing potion. I think what I'm going to do is we're just going to toss an axe. So the nice thing about Tantrum is he does have this ability with all these axes right here where you can tick them down. For Axe Collector, at any time I can down tick Axe Collector by 1 to deal 2 damage to any non-adjacent baddie. Tantrum may use this at any time during his turn, however it can only be used once per turn. The Axe Collector backup plan or Fortune Discovery loot maxes this skill back to 3 axes. So I can't do 2 points damage to it because it has Hardy on it. But I can definitely do 1 point damage. So I'm going to tick this down from a 3 to a 2, doing 1 point of damage, because I really don't want to use my mixed berries, because the way things are going is I'm going to need that in a future fight. That is going to be it for Patches' turn. Now we get to go back over to Patches. I keep calling Tantrum Patches. You all know what I mean here when I say it. I'm pointing so you know who I'm talking about. Now we go over to Patches. Not going to lie here. Patches is generally 99% of the time the gear lock I play every time I play this game. This one, and sometimes I like to play Duster too and Stanza, but generally I like to play Patches. So we have 3 dice. I only got to do 1 hit. I have 2 attack dice. And I might as well roll a defense die just in case for some crazy reason things don't work out in our favor. Let's do this. Okay, so we're going to get 1 bones and 2 points of damage. So if you can only take 1 point of damage, that's still enough to take out this horrible level 1 baddie. And we have won round battle fight number 2. Let's take all our heroes off. Let's end the round tracker back to a 1. And Patches actually, I'm sorry, not Patches. I'm going to get it right one of these days. Tantrum actually manages to survive a battle. So that's actually pretty good. I'm sure he's very happy about that. Let's go ahead and deal out our rewards for our heroes for surviving this long. So first things first, let's go ahead and return all of our exhausted dice. This die has been an absolute dream to me, this entire thing. It's given me tons and tons of wonderful treasures. So we picked the first reward, which means we're going to get a trove loot for all of our, not a trove loot, we're going to loot for all of our heroes. So Patches first. Last Battle Stew. Use until depleted. Place 7 hit point on this card. At the start of each new day, remove 1 hit point from spoilage. Outside of battle, any gear lock may remove any number of hit points from stew to heal for that amount. Well, any gear lock. I think we will be any gear locking quite a bit. So I might as well put it over on this any gear lock in just a minute when we get to the chance to actually exchange loot, because he's going to want to do that. Next up is going to be the loot for Tantrum. Tantrum is going to get throwing axe. Hey, that's very apropos. During your turn, roll 1 attack die and deal its damage to any unit on the battle mat. Does not cost dexterity, and it can even be used on adjacent things. 2 uses. That is actually very nice. Let's go ahead and go to our 3 skill ups, because we get 1 skill up here, plus we get 2 more skill ups down here. This could be really awesome. 3 skill ups right now is absolutely beyond awesome for all of our gear locks. That's actually enough for us to do some really cool things. Thinking Rage, and I'm thinking Fast Hands and Bone Saw. Well, let's figure out what we're going to do because we got lots of cool options. So for our level ups, I think I'm going to start with Tantrum first. And the first thing we're going to do with Tantrum is just basically barely scraping by every single round. So let's go ahead and do 2 of our skill ups here just to gain 2 hit points. And we're going to go from 6 hit points all the way to 8 hit points. And we will gain those 2 hit points right here and right now because we just leveled up our hit points. I have 1 skill up left. I'm either thinking like a worm or our next level of anger management, because if I can just stay alive long enough, maybe I can use some anger management, just maybe. So and the level 2 rage die is healing, level 3 is taking out level 5 baddies, or like a worm, or I take, actually you know what, I'm going to go for an attack. I think we're going to try to see if I get level 4 on my attack. If I do, I'm going to be happy. Otherwise, if I don't, I'm just going to go for level 2 on the rage. Let's see if we get attack. We're not going to get attack. Okay, so let's go with like a worm. I think like a worm is what we're going to do. Like a worm, which allows us to poison 1 time at least, since we're getting beat on all the darn time anyways. That's all 3 of our skill ups there. Now let's go ahead and go to Patches. Now Patches, I'm going to take 1 skill up in health. That just seems like an obvious one to me. That puts us at 7 hit points. And now if I can get him to level up, I give him 8, which should be enough to make it through this campaign. 2 level ups left. Let's go ahead and do 1 of those for dexterity. I have 1 more level up left. I think we're going to go ahead and take fast hands for the main reason that I want to get to bone saw as quick as possible if I can make it that far. Actually, no. Nope. Take that back. We're going to take toxins. I think we're getting to the point where I'm starting to feel where this is going. I'm starting to see lots of creatures with hardy. I'm thinking poison is going to be the best option for us. I think that's what we're going to do. That is all 3 of our skill ups. Let's go ahead and add the progress points up. We now have a total of 3 progress points, which is good because we're on day number 3. We're halfway into being able to take out, or at least attempting to go after Mulmesh. Let's go ahead and go to our recovery phase. So for our recovery phase, the very first thing we are going to do is we are going to get the chance to trade some loot, and then we're going to make some lockpicking attempts. So the first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and do the trading of the loot, just like this, just due to carrying capacity. And we are down, let's see, we have 3, we are down 4. Let's go in and burn that right now. Take 4 off of Last Battle Stew. That leaves those 3 left on Last Battle Stew. I'll just take it like that. It seems like the smarter way to do things at this point. And then we can do some lock picking. Let's go ahead and see if we can do some successful lock picking this time. So, lock picking dice. We need lever. 3 lever. That's it. Just 3 levers. Not even that big of a deal. Obviously, it's a huge, huge deal. We can add a +1. Unfortunately, we didn't get lever. So, it's going to be a complete reroll. Hey, we finally got 3 lever. So there is 3 lever. So this die is completely undone. I'm not re-rolling any other dice because you can't do multiple locks. So now we need 3 trip. There's 1 trip I can re-roll. Which one of these can get the higher trip? That one gets a 2. That one can get a 3. So let's re-roll this one by spending this. Did not get it. So, well, darn. So let's just keep the good times rolling, and now Tantrum can try to pick this lock, but we are on trip right now. Let's see if Tantrum can have any success with this lock. Let's see. Hey, there's 3 trip right there. We actually just got what we needed. So let's see if we can get the 3 force. 2 force. This gives us +1 on any die, and it's not exhausted, so that's going to give us 3 force. That will actually do it. We have actually managed to unlock our very first trove loot. And we will reveal the Locksmith Manual Permanent. Reduced by 1 the lock difficulty of all locks your party encounters. Well, this would have been really, really good to have it sooner, but hey, sooner is better than later. Or later is better than never, I should say. That is it. So that is going to be it for basically that part of the recovery phase. Now every one of us needs to make a decision. Now luckily both of our gear locks are at full health. Make sure I got their health correct here. 2, 4, 6, 7. You are correct. Do you also have 7 life? 2, 4, 6, 7. Yep, you also have 7 life. So we're not going to heal. So the only thing left to do, I think, is going to be to explore. So let's go and do some exploration. First exploration will be for Patches. We'll get a 3. Next level 1 baddie we will encounter is going to be a dire wolf pup, which has lashback 1. I'm actually okay with that. Next one up is going to be Tantrum. Tantrum will reveal the 5-point baddie, which is going to be a dragon delinquent. Has engulf and weaken 2. I am hating weaken. It was made our last fight absolutely miserable. So let's put him on the bottom of the stack. I am not going to deal with weaken. No more weaken. Weaken is not fun, especially since we only have, well, I got 4 dexterity on both my guys now, but still, don't want to do it. Don't want to deal with it. So that is the end of the day. So let's go ahead and go on to the next day. Let us go ahead and advance the day counter to day number 4. And let's look at our encounter card we are going to have coming up next. Free trade is rarely free. After going so long without a significant find, the approaching group of merchants are a welcome sight. They seem friendly enough and are quick to beckon us to trade. I guess we should have approached more warily, as we are caught completely off guard when surrounded by 4 hooded figures. Maybe this is the way they greet everyone, one of us suggests. Or maybe we're dead. Reply, either way, we need to act fast. Okay, bribe the Mulner. Oh, of course it has to be a Mulner, because they're horrible, evil people. Party must give up 1 loot equal to party size. The Mulner leave without a word. Shuffle special encounter Mulner traders into your encounter deck, if not already in it. Joy. Don't like that. Is this a test? Whirlwind! Select 1 gear lock. You have 5 rounds to defeat 4 cloaked figures. Place 4 stacks of hit points, 3 hit points, 5 hit points, 4 hit points, 4 hit points, on baddie melee possessions in any order. These cloaked figures do not move or attack. They select gear lock. The selected gear lock treats this as a normal battle. It does not affect, does affect encounter success. I guess we passed there, backing away. Let's see. We have 5 rounds to defeat 4 cloaked figures. Gosh, that's going to burn a lot of stuff. But hey, at least we're going to get some loot out of it. And I really would hate to face this or fail this. 5 rounds to defeat 4 cloaked figures. Place 4 stacks of hit points, 3, 5, 4, 4 on baddie melee possessions in any order. I guess they're not going to attack, so I'm basically just going to go round, 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 round. I basically have to defeat one of them every single round. With my 3 attack, it's not impossible. Let's do it. We're going to take option number 2. Is this a test? Whirlwind. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take a stack of 3 hit points. There is our 3 hit point stack. I'm just going to put it on spot number 1. Let's go ahead and take a 5 hit point stack, which is 5 hit points. Put that on number 2 until I figure out where I want to do it. Here is a 4 hit point stack, and then we have a 4 hit point stack just like that. Okay. Select 1 gear lock. You have 5 rounds to defeat 4 cloaked figures. Well, the nice thing is I'm not going to take damage here. I just need to apply as much damage as possible as quickly as I can, which means I'm going to be burning through my axe collector. Luckily, I have Fortunate Discovery to help me bring some of those back, and I believe my axe collector does 2 damage each. So I don't actually see this being impossible. Let's go ahead and do this with round number 1. So we have 3 attack dice. Let's go ahead and target number 5 hit points. And we'll start off pretty darn swimmingly. We'll roll 4 points of damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. She has 1 hit point left. So I'm going to do 1 axe collector to do 2 points of damage to this one right there. And then I have my throwing axe. I am going to use 1 of my throwing axes, and I'm going to attack this guy right there with my throwing axe. That does 1 point of damage. He is defeated because throwing axes do not say they cannot be used on adjacent targets. So that is round number 1. Not terrible. Let's go ahead and start round number 2. I'll use 1 point of my dex to go right here. I still have 3 attack dice, so we're going to use our 3 attack dice on this guy right there. And we'll do 4 points of damage. He will be defeated. I will use my axe collector right there to do 2 points of damage to him. He is defeated. Round number 3, I will roll 3 attack dice versus him. And we'll get 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. I guess we did live up to the phrase of whirlwind because we just whirlwinded these guys all the way down. That's kind of fun and nice. So, resort back to round number 1, and let's look what happens when you take out the Mulmesh after they mess with your whirlwind. So we're going to get 1 treasure for each one of our heroes. So the very first reward we will take will be for Patches. Patches is going to gain another fortune discovery. We'll be trading that off very, very quickly. And then for Tantrum, we will gain Red Minotaur. Single use. Ignore 1 bones when making a training attempt. Well, it's like Red Bull, but, you know, Red Minotaur. Single use. That's A-okay. I'm totally fine with that. There is our loot. Now we have 2 skill ups for both of our guys. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with Tantrum for his skill ups, and I am going to roll for attack. And I'm probably going to burn that Red Minotaur really, really quickly here. So let's go for attack. See if we can get a skill up on attack. We do. So our attack is now equal to 4. We have 1 more skill up. I am thinking this is probably about the time that we want to gain Rage. Rage 2.0. And then for our next hero is going to be Patches. What is Patches going to do for his skill ups? I think for Patches, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to gain a defense die, and we will succeed because we know things are just only going to start hitting harder and getting much, much nastier. So I think 1 more defense die will be good. I have the 4 decks to be able to roll all 4 of those dice. That's good. I have 1 skill up left. I think we're going to take Fast Hands at this point. I'm thinking Fast Hands just so we get to bone saws what I'm thinking. That is both our skill ups. We will add this over to our accomplishment points, or I'm sorry, our progress points, to show that we have 4 progress points total. Probably 2 more days and we can go ahead and take out the baddie. But, or I'm sorry, we can take out the tyrant, I should say. But now that we've done that, the next thing we need to figure out is what we're going to do as our individual actions. So, fully healed, we should have lost 1 hit point from that last round. Or the start of this day, I should say. So, fully healed, so do we try for better loots? This last battle brew, we should probably... I'm thinking the last battle brew, yes. I'm going to cash in this last battle brew, and we are going to try to get something better out of it. So let's go ahead and roll some attack dice. We're going to roll 6 attack die, and hopefully we're going to get some better loots here. And, hey, we got 1 bone. We got to draw 1 more loot. It's going to be Troll Brew. Oh, heck to the yes. Outside of battle, permanently increase your health stat by 1 at the start of the next battle. Reduce your current hit points by 3. Yes. Going to do it. We're going to go up to 4 health. That gives us a total of 8 health. Next battle, we're going to start wounded by 3 hit points. I don't care at this point. I'm going to do it. We will burn that. We still have this. Let's go and take a fortune discovery from our friend by doing a little trading back and forth. Let's burn this fortune discovery and take 3 axes. That way we are ready for it. I can't heal because technically I'm not hurt yet. We haven't started the next battle. So let's go ahead and do some scouting ahead. Patches, scout first. And Tantrum, you can't scout at all because you went for better loot. So Patches, find something cool. And you're going to find a hardy compounding kobold tracker. 2 hit points. Yeah, they're a pain in the neck, but we'll stick with it. I'm not too worried about that. Unless something nasty is about to pop up. Well, with my luck, that's probably about to happen. So that is it. Let's go ahead and advance the tracker, and let's go ahead and go over to day number 5. And our next encounter is going to be like pigs to the slaughter. All day it's felt like we've been, all day it's felt like we've been corralled down a specific path, from impassable roadblocks to strange suggestions offered by traveling merchants. There's no way it's all a coincidence. If anything else were to come up, and there it is, another oddity. Since when have road signs been posted in uncharted forests? This one is hastily and crudely made with the paint still fresh. It reads, left for fun, spelling counts only in tests. Right for bad things. Again, spelling only counts in tests. So let's see, bad things is right. So we probably want to go right? So, fun of course. Baddie points during setup and battle. For every baddie with 5 or more hit points that enters the battle mat, immediately add 1 point baddie to the bottom of the battle queue. Well, we're in day 5. We have 2 gear locks. That means we're going to have 2 5-point baddies. I cannot think of a single 5-point baddie who has less than 5 hit points. That's going to be automatically 2 level 1 guys, which means that Lashback and Hardy are going to be joining the fight here. Let's call their bluff. It turns out Bad Things is actually an unguarded trove loot chest with a complex lock. You will have 1 chance before your stalkers realize the route you chose. Draw the top trove loot card, select 1 gear lock to perform a lockpick attempt. If successful, that gear lock gains and unlocks that trove loot card immediately. If not, discard it. Does not affect encounter success. Baddie Q equals baddie points. Well, let's see here. The next trove loot card is a 3-2-3. Yeah, no, I know how my dice roll. There's no way in heck I'm going to do that. Let's go ahead and go for the fun, of course. That's going to give us 2 total, actually 3 total skill points and a regular loot anyways. Let's go ahead and have the fun. So the very first thing, that's going to be number 1. This is going to be number 2. And I might as well pull out these 2 fun guys because there's no way these guys are going to have less than 5 hit points. My memory is telling me it just does not happen. So first one is going to be a weekend engulfing Dragon Igniter. Luckily, it's a melee, and that is going to be initiative number 1 with 6 hit points. Let's see here. 6 hit points. And its initiative is a 5. So he's a pretty speedy dragon. Next up is going to be, oh lovely, a dire wolf. It has initiative of 4. Well, that's not deadly, but definitely kind of fast. He's going to have 6 hit points. And he's also going to go over here in the hand-to-hand slot. Number 3, we know is going to be this guy. He has an initiative of 3. He has 3 hit points, and he's going to go in the hand-to-hand combat slot with his 3 hit points. And number 4 is going to have 2 hit points. Has an initiative of 6. Wow, he's super duper fast. And also going to, actually he's ranged. Even more fun. Lovely, lovely, lovely. He needs to die as soon as possible. Otherwise, life is going to be very, very exciting for our heroes. So let's go roll initiative for our heroes and see if we can get anything good out of this. Well, we got 4s. So that definitely means that he's going to attack first, he's going to attack second, which means we're going to be weakened. Lovely. This should be super duper fun. Well, it could be worse. It could also be better. So here is going to be the trick of this fight. He is going to be a pain because he hits for 4, but every time we hit him, he's also going to do 2 points of damage back to us. So we need to get him poisoned very, very quickly. I am thinking, wow, you're hurt too. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is going to be fun. You're going to go right there and take an obscene amount of abuse for us. And basically, I need to roll like a kobold, and I need to roll like a worm as quick as possible. And then I am thinking we will put good old Doctor right here, and then you'll advance up and try to take out our hardy compatriot enemy as quick as possible. We don't want to surround this guy because he has a nice, wonderful ability to attack 2 of us. So, gosh, this is just not fun. He needs to die first. This guy I'm not quite worried about because he is going to... Ouch. I just realized how nasty this whole fight is going to be. I may want to change my tactics because he's going to attack 2 of us. And he's going to engulf both times. Yeah, no, this is not going to be a good idea at all. Like that. And then like that maybe? So let the pain start. Okay, first things first is the kobold tracker gets to activate first. His target is going to be range, whoever has the least amount of hit points, which is going to be Tantrum. Only is going to roll 1 attack die because he has compound. Compound means he's going to roll a number of attack dice based on the current round of the fight. Round 1. So first up at the start of the fight, the first thing that's going to happen is poor Tantrum is going to get attacked. So let's go and advance the initiative die on our horrible, evil kobold tracker, and it gets to roll 1 attack die because we're in round number 1. And we'll do 1 point of damage to Tantrum. Next up, we have the Dragon Igniter, who's going to roll 2 attack dice and 1 defense die. Ouch. Well, actually, maybe not ouch. That actually could work out in our benefit. So he is not going to get any defense dice at all. He's going to do 3 points damage to Tantrum, which, yes, that hurts a lot. But he's also going to do 3 points damage to himself, which just about almost halfway killed him. And we might survive this. Maybe. Just maybe might survive this. I mean, miracles could happen. It can happen. So Tantrum's turn. I'm always thinking that Tantrum has to use the mixed berries I've been holding on to for oh so long. We'll see what we roll with our dice. Well, our body count is at 1. I can heal 1. Let's see, that's going to roll 1 attack die versus us. That's going to roll 4 attack dice versus us. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point. We are going to burn the mixed berries. I don't see any other way around it. So let's go in and burn the mixed berries right now, and that'll allow Tantrum to heal 3 hit points. So now we have 4 hit points, at least, so it's not horribly terrible. Okay, play smart, play smart, play smart, play smart. I think we're going to attack this creature right here. And I gotta remember, I do have a weaken token on me because I did use weaken 1 on me. Oops, wrong die. We do have weaken 1 on us because of the weaken effect from the dragon. So that does mean we only get to roll 3 dice. One of those dice has to be a defense die. Oh, the good news here is that since I forgot to put the rage die out in the beginning, we will actually tick that up 4 points because we took 4 points of damage. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and we will tick that all the way up to 1.8. So I'm thinking I want to instantly kill something that is a 1-point baddie. This darn kobold tracker is probably going to be the worst thing that I will need to fight. I'm thinking that, or I can take out the dire wolf pup. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's got to be what I got to do. I need to do this as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we're going to be in a lot of trouble and we're going to get defeated very, very quickly. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more of a complex turn, I think, because I need to do this just right. We're going to do 1 defense die. We're going to do like a kobold, and we're going to do Way of the Wild. So these are the 3 dice we are going to roll. Now these 3 dice really, really, really need to work out in our favor. Okay, so not great, not terrible. Let's use the 1 defense. Like that. Let's use this to this is not fun. I think we're going to use this to get rid of the direwolf's lashback. I think that's about the only smart thing to do right now, because that lashback is going to be a pain in the neck because we need to get him defeated as quick as possible. So that is going to be exhausted. Before I use this die right here, I'm going to tick this down just like that. And this is going to allow me to do 2 points of damage to any non-adjacent baddie. I'll do 2 points of damage to him, and he will not get the lash back on me at all. Let's go ahead and exhaust our rage die, which is going to allow us to defeat any level 1 baddie. You are level 1 baddie, so you are going to be defeated. Let's remove you from the board, because otherwise you are going to be a horrible, horrible pain in the neck. And then we will use our die right here. Do we tick it back up? Yeah, not the best use of it. We'll do that. So we will tick up body count to 2 because we killed a baddie, and then we're going to burn all of that to go ahead and gain back 2 life. I'm thinking that's going to be the smartest thing to do here because it's just not looking too good for us otherwise, and otherwise we're going to have a lot of problems. The weakened die is removed because it is used up. That's the end of our turn for Tantrum. Tantrum should be okay now. Let's go ahead and go over to Patches. Now, Patches, you need to entertain that horrible dire wolf as quickly as possible without being next to him. So we'll spend 1 point of our dex to move up there, leaves us 3 points of dex. We'll spend 2 points of our dex to roll that. I'm thinking we'll want to poison that dire wolf as quick as possible. So that's going to be 3 dice. Oh my gosh, that was absolutely miserable. Well, we could do a needle jab, or we can save that. That couldn't have been much worse. Do I use it? Well, maybe we'll get leveled up. If we get leveled up, it may be worth it. I know I'm going to regret this. I just know I'm going to regret this very, very quickly. But we're going to go here, and I'm going to go here, and maybe we'll get lucky and we'll actually manage to level up. Let's take the 1 point of defense. Oh boy, I'm not going to like this. I'm sensing pain is coming very, very quickly. So, back to the horrible dire wolf. The dire wolf is going to roll 4 attack dice versus Patches. Well, actually, let's do bad. We'll get a bone, and we'll do this. We'll be blocked by the 1 defense that we happen to have, so I'll get rid of the 1 defense we have. We are actually only going to take 2 points of damage on Patches. With our heal, our self-heal, that won't be too darn terrible. Next up is going to be the dire wolf pup, which is going to move here. And now I just realized I just cheated. I just remember that rage cannot execute at range. The rage die can only execute a adjacent baddie. So we're going to actually add that hardy kobold tracker back onto the board and keep his initiative like it was before, and I'm going to fix that because I just realized I made a horrible mistake, and I'm not going to cheat because cheating is not fun. And it's really not going to make too big a mistake. We'll put his rage 2.0 die back on the board. Now unexhaust his rage 1 die. That's a super duper easy fix that actually doesn't cause too many problems. He just, instead of executing, we're going to upgrade to rage 2. I think that's going to work out for us. Not a horrible, big, major mistake, but it is a little bit of a mistake, and it is something I need to make sure I fix, because otherwise we're cheating. So back to what we got going on here. You got lashback, you got 1 attack die, you're going to attack Patches. Roll 1 damage. And that is going to get rid of the 1 armor we have on Tantrum. Round 2. Top of the round, the kobold tracker gets to shoot, and he is going to shoot whoever has the least amount of hit points, which is going to be Tantrum. Round 2, so that means he is going to roll 2 attack dice. Not fun. 3 points of damage. Well, we took 3 points of damage. That means our rage is going to tick up 3 points. And we go 2-2, 2-4, and finally 2.6. Okay, so back to the fun on the mat. That does mean that the dragon hunter is now going to attack. 2 attack dice, 1 defense, and he's going to target Patches. So Patches is going to live by the skin of his teeth, taking 2 points of damage. I'm sorry, Tantrum. You know what? I'm going to stop calling him Patches sometime during this dang fight, if it kills me. The dragon is going to do 2 points of damage to itself, and that's going to put a weakened counter on good old Tantrum, who I swear I'm going to call him by his right name sometime today. I'm sure I've called him Patches like 400 times now in this video, at least 400 times. Give or take 20. So now Tantrum gets to go. Tantrum, you need to survive somehow. Luckily, the doctor can heal you just a little bit. So, first thing we're going to do with Tantrum, we're going to burn Throwing Axe's last charge to do 2 points of damage to anything on the mat. Well, one attack die and deal less damage to any unit on the battle map does not cost dexterity. We're going to target the kobold tracker. 1 point of damage, that's all he can take anyways. That is fine. Hopefully, Patches, the real Patches, not the Tantrum Patches, can actually take him out now. That's my hope. And that uses up the last charge on our Throwing Axe right there. Now what do I want to do? I only have 3 points of dexterity due to the stupid weaken. So obviously I am going to think I'm going to tick down Axe Collector. I'm going to tick down Axe Collector to do 1 more point of damage and take him out. It just seems like such a dang waste, but it's just, I have to do it. I don't want to do it, I have to do it. And now I still have 3 decks worth of dice to roll. I'm thinking one of those has to be a defense die. And I need to get bones because the dragon did 2 points of damage to me, which would have been 2.8, 3.0, which means I'm about to break. So if I can get some bones, I might be okay. If I get 2 bones, I can go down to here and instantly kill something. So what can give me bones? I need something to give me lots of bones and I have 3 dice to roll. 1, 2, 3. And then maybe I'll get a bounty count to heal myself 1 hit point. Oh my gosh, this is just terrible all the way around. My target is the Dragon Hunter, or Dragon Igniter, because obviously a dire wolf pup will kill me. Okay, so I got 1 bones, didn't get the 2 I needed. I have 1 shield, and I'm going to do 2 points of damage to the Dragon Igniter. That will at least defeat the Dragon Igniter, so we will remove him from the map. He will go in the dead pile, and at least that means that maybe, just maybe, Tantrum will survive this fight. I can get heals. I can get heals, so I don't need to worry about that. Lashback is done. Let's go and look over here at the battle mat and try to figure out what we're going to do. Tantrum's turn is obviously done, so we are now going to go ahead and look at Patches. Patches needs to roll at least 1 healing die, because otherwise Tantrum's dead. The start of our round, we are going to heal 1 hit point due to our natural ability. I want to roll 2 defense dice because my hope is that I can get 3 more bones before this actual fight is over. That's 3 of my dice. I have 1 more die I need to roll. 4 dice right there. I need 3 bones. 3 bones and everything's magical. Maybe. Okay, that is not by any way, shape, or form the definition of magical at all. So this will burn to go ahead and heal Tantrum for 1 before Tantrum dies. That'll be exhausted. This will give us 3 armor, which means we can survive the nastiness of the dire wolf. And this will allow us to draw a loot. Let's see what loot we're going to get. We're going to get the Mechanical Assistant Single Use. Increase your dex by 3 for this turn only. Well, not terrible, just not great. Okay, it's time for Purple to do what Purple does best. Roll 4 attack dice versus Patches. So we did 4 hits. Luckily we have 3 defense. So it's going to remove our 3 defense there, which means we are only going to take 1 point of damage. And then the direwolf pup gets to attack Tantrum. Oh, the good news is Tantrum actually can't die here, even if I roll a 2. Okay, roll the 1. Tantrum does have 1 shield left. And I forgot to go back to breakdown 2.0 at the end of my turn. That is going to be it for round number 2. Let's go ahead and start round number 3. And it's going to start with Tantrum. So, Tantrum, you need to get angry. You need to do a lot of things. You actually need some bones. At least we're going to hope we're going to level up. So the first thing we're going to roll is we're going to roll bones. We have a total of 4 dexterity. We have 3 attack dice. Let's just go ahead and take all of them. Or should I throw in there like a kobold and hopefully maybe get an axe? Let's throw in like a kobold. Maybe I'll get an axe. 4 dice. Something magical. Okay, so we did 3 points of damage. We have a 2-point shield, and we have that. Well, as soon as I move, he's going to get attacked. So let's just take it. We will take it, and we will go ahead and lock that in our active slots. We did 3 points of damage. This creature only has 1 hit point left, but it's going to do lash back to us, which is going to knock our 2 down to a 1. But at least it is removed from the battle mat. And we only have 1 nasty, nasty creature left to worry about. That's going to be that dire wolf. We will tick our body count up to 2. We will tick our rage up to 2.2. And that is going to end the turn for Tantrum. Next up is Patches. Patches has pretty much been the champ this whole darn battle. 2 defense dice. 2 attack dice. Or do I go for locking fast hands? Because I'm probably going to need fast hands sometime soon. I'm going to go for locking fast hands. For a future fight. Well, that's actually not terrible. So we'll lock the 2 and the 3 into our armor. Fast hands times 2, I do believe this goes in our locked slot, if I remember correctly. Yes, it goes in the lock slot. And then we'll do 1 point of damage. And it cannot do its lashback because we have effectively taken away its lashback ability. But now it still gets to hit us for 4 attack dice. But before that happens, I must remember, Patches will heal 1 hit point. 4 is an 8. That's cocked. And we will do a whole bunch of damage. That's going to be a total of 5 points damage. We have 3 armor. We'll lose our armor and 2 hit points. And that will end round number 3. Round number 4. Oh boy. Well, well, well. First things first is Tantrum. Does Tantrum really want to get next to a creature that can hit for an obscene amount of damage? Probably not, because we don't want to die. But I could do the no guts, no glory thing. Let's go for the no guts, no glory. We will spend 1 point. We still have 3 points of dexterity left. Unfortunately, we can't roll our defense die because we've already locked that in. So all we're really looking for is to do a whole bunch of damage to that direwolf. We rolled a 1, and a 2. So that is 4 points of damage to the direwolf, which almost kills it. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage to the direwolf. We'll remove its hit points there. Would have loved to have killed it to raise our body count, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So that's going to be the end of the turn. So now we get to go to Patches. Patches will heal 1 hit point at the start of his turn. He just needs to do 1 point of damage. We have 2 attack dice. We have 2 defense dice in case for some reason we horribly butcher this. It can happen. You see me roll today. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was very, very close. So this is going to be done in a certain order because right now we are at 5 bones. If you look over at Patches, Patches does have the ability of Overdrive, which reduces E cells by 1 to electrify any battery for 4 true damage. That's not really what I want to do. I actually want to do Fortunate Discovery, since we know we're not going to get to our 6 bones in this fight. Acquire a consumable die of Patches' choice. I am thinking we're either going to go Liquid Life, which allows us to come back to life with that amount of hit points on whoever we lock that die on, or we get some E-cells. If we get some E-cells, then we can actually use our overcharge to do 4 points of damage. I am thinking we're going to take all 4 of these bones, which leaves us with 1 bones left. And we are going to go ahead and take our E-cell. So our E-cell is going to come onto the board, and I do believe it comes in at, we roll one and we acquire it to see how good it's going to be. Let's roll for our E-cell. Hey, we got 3 charges. That's actually pretty darn good. I'm looking to be happy about that. So now back to the battlefield. Let's go ahead and apply our 2 points damage to the dire wolf, who only has 1 hit point left. It will be defeated. We'll put it over in the defeated baddie pile. And return the initiative. Return the dice. Back to battle round number 1 for our cleanup. And again, both of our heroes have managed to survive the fight. Of course, again, Tantrum has shown that he can get hurt pretty badly and still walk away and shrug it off. So I guess that's a good thing. So it's basically shrug it off, shrug it off, shrug it off, and take your punishment. So, Way of the Wild, like a kobold. This is going to have to go back here because it's active, not locked. Unfortunately, we can't keep it for future rounds. Rage is going to go back to here, and that will end the fight. Let's go ahead and gain our rewards. So since we're for fun, of course, that does mean we're going to gain 2 skill ups for both of our heroes. Okay, Tantrum, you need a point of dexterity. And I think you're going to go for a point of attack. So you're going to roll 4 dice. And we're probably going to burn our red minotaur here. So ignore 1 bones. I only rolled 1 bone, so I can ignore that when making a training attempt. Our second skill up puts us at 5 attack dice with Tantrum. If you cannot do a lot of damage with 5 attack dice, I am just doing it absolutely wrong. So now we'll go over to Patches. Well, Patches, I know we're going to take Bonesaw as our first one. And then as our second one, I think we're going to take 1 more point of dexterity. The ability to roll the dice is just amazing. We cannot forget about rolling the dice. It's the one thing that's been just awesome for us. Plus I have 1 more skill up coming here in just a second. And let's go ahead and look at that skill up. I am thinking we want bones, lots and lots of bones. Let's go ahead and try to raise our defense up to a 3. Roll 2 defense dice, we'll succeed. We now have 3 defense for Patches. And now I need to figure out what we're going to do for Tantrum. I think Tantrum might be going for like a wolf. Or I can go for Rage level 3 and try to hope that Anger Management will actually level us up next round. Okay, I basically need to make a decision right here, right now. How do I want to level up Tantrum? Because at this point, we're going to get 1 more fight before we're going to go after Mulmesh. That's it. We're going to get 1 more battle, which is probably going to give us at least 1 skill up. Probably, possibly 2, you never know, but at least going to give us 1 skill up. Which means I'm either going to go into the fight with Mulmesh with Rage and Anger Management, or I'm going to go with Like a Wolf and Cripple. Now, Cripple is really, really nice because Cripple allows us to do a couple different things. What Cripple is going to do is it's going to reduce the amount of damage that the target is going to do. And Mulmesh can actually roll up to 4 attack dice, which can be so darn brutal. 4 attack dice can basically be up to 8 points of damage, which can take out any one of our heroes here before they even get the option to go. And he does have an initiative of 6, which basically means that he's going to start off the fight going first, unless I roll a magical initiative with Tantrum. He's the only one who can roll a 6 on his initiative, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. But if I can get him crippled, basically what Cripple says, if we look right here, is it's an attack mod. After alter your or an adjacent baddie's attack stat by the number for the battle. So he'll still get the Frenzy 2 on him, but at least for the entire battle, he's only going to be rolling 1 attack die instead of rolling possibly 4 attack die. So it's 3 to 4. That could just save our lives. The other option I can go for is for the Way of the Ebon, which allows me to taunt, which means I'm going to decide to always be the target of all attacks. I don't even think that's a great idea. So, like a wolf would allow me to get the ability to use Lashback. When hit by an adjacent baddie, you may do X amount of damage in return. That combined with like a worm could be good. But if I get anger management, oh my gosh, I know there's a lot of talking for what should be a fun video, but if I get anger management, I can adjust his active rage die by exactly the number shown, and I can use that to guarantee to actually use my rage die, which I have not been able to use at all. And that's going to allow me to, I believe that allows me to kill all the way up to a 20-point baddie, if I'm not mistaken. Can I kill up to a 20-point baddie? Yes, I can kill up to a 20-point baddie if I do it right. We're going to do it. We're going to go for rage. Hopefully I am not going to regret this. We're going to take rage as our level up and go to rage level 3. So let's go ahead and gain our loots. First one up is going to be Patches, who needs to pick one of his loots to go ahead and get rid of because he is overweighted. Multi-tool, 3 uses during anyone's lockpick attempt, add 1 to an action die result. Well, that's don't need it. We'll get rid of that. Next up is going to be Tantrum. Tantrum is going to gain the Rusty Optics. 2 uses. At the end of the round, gain 3 initiative spots. That is going to be stupidly awesome. Yes, I'm going to be happy to keep that. So that's it. So let's go ahead and add this nice little card over here to our baddie. Tracking points. It's showing that we actually have 5. We have 1 more round to go before we're going to attack Mulmesh, because we're definitely attacking Mulmesh once we get to the 6 required points. I think both of our heroes are just going to have to heal, especially Tantrum, who only has 2 hit points left. So let's put ourselves back to 8 hit points for good old Tantrum. And then Patches, it needs to get back up to 7. So you need 2 more hit points. Put you back up to 7. Are we doing a trading of loots? Yes. Fortune Discovery is going to come over there because we need to get ready for that. That's it. Let us go over now to day number 6 and our encounter. Oh wow. I think we're definitely going to be going up to Mulmesh next round. So we got to look at that encounter card because I think I know which one that was. Extra fun. Feeling trapped. Are we being followed? The leaves rustle as a shadowy figure slips back amongst the trees. Another step forward and, youch, my foot! A Gearlock in full camouflage emerges from the woods to take credit for the injury. Grab some traps, hurry, she says. We recognize her now. It's Gilly's mentor, Spearna. What are you doing all the way out here? We ask. She doesn't answer, instead pulling us back into hiding. Help trigger these traps, and this battle will be a breeze, she whispers. Okay. Shut your trap and help Spearna trap. Baddie Q equals baddie points. Add number of points equal to party size. So normally our baddie Q, we're on day 6 times 2 will be 12. 2 more is going to put us at 14. Okay, so we're going to have a pretty large baddie Q here. At the start of the battle, each Gearlock may place a number of attack dice equal to the attack stat on any battle map positions. Gearlocks may choose the same positions to place their dice. Any unit that starts on or moves onto a position with attack dice must roll them and take that much damage. Remove dice after dealing damage. Well, that could be actually pretty darn fun. So let's go ahead and do the baddie Q first. So we know the baddie Q is going to be 14, so we're going to have a 5, a 5, a 1, a 1 for a total of 12, and then 2 more are going to go down just like that. So 1, 2, 3, and finally 4. So let's go ahead and reveal what kind of fun we're going to have. So we don't like that at all. Compound, it's going to attack everything, it's melee, and it has 5 hit points. So 5 hit points for you right there. And your initiative is 3. Not too terrible, I can survive that. Next up is going to be Secrete 2, Poison 1. Oh boy, just what I did not want. 3 and 6. Luckily his initiative is 3. And you'll go right there. Next up, we are going to have Flight and 2 hit points. Well, this can be nice and entertaining. Initiative is going to be 5. And then finally, we're going to... Gosh, I'm loving this. I really am loving this. I really, really am. I'm making this up. I'm totally not loving this at all. So, 5 hit points. Luckily, your initiative is 2. The fun part is you're just going to break everything we own. So, let's go ahead and roll the initiatives for all of our gear locks. Four and 3. That looks very, very familiar. Well, luckily the only thing that's going to go first is the thing that has flight. I think we can live with that. So, at the start of the battle setup, each gear lock place their attack dice in any battle map positions. Gear locks may choose the same positions, place their dice. Any unit that starts on or moves onto... Okay. Each gear lock may place a number of attack dice equal to their attack sighted on any battle map positions. So, Tantrum has a total of 5 attack dice. I'm going to do all 5 of them right there. And Patches has a total of 2 attack dice. I will do 1 attack die right there. And I think I'm going to put the other attack die... Where should I put it? Well, I might as well just put it right there and see if we can take this guy out in one fell swoop. Although, hedge my bets in case I roll bones. I'm going to hedge my bets just in case I roll bones because I've seen how my luck has gone so far. Any unit that starts or moves onto a position with attack dice must roll them and take that much damage removed dice after dealing damage. I think this is going to work out for us. Now I just need to figure out where I'm going to put our heroes. This thing is definitely going to go first. There's no way I can get around that. And that may be good because that may give Tantrum some rage, which is going to be good. We need to get some rage. We need to get just a little bit angry. Get angry, Tantrum. So that means that Patches will go right over here next to the creature that has Break, the clay golem. Break is tons and tons of all kinds of fun. Break basically means that I need to use poison on that thing as quick as possible. Still have 2 baddies in the back too. So let's go ahead and start this fight. Round 1 of the fight. Let's do this. So the first thing that's going to happen is the Griffin Yearling is going to attack. It has 2 attack dice. And it also has flight. So these are all melee. Make sure I didn't mess that up. Yep, all melee. So let's roll our 2 attack dice. And we'll do 2 points of damage to Tantrum, which is a great start for poor Tantrum. And then it's immediately going to take flight. Let's go and grab our flight die. Wrong one. I think I got all mixed up in here, unfortunately. That was not smart of me. So it now takes flight, which means it is now completely untargetable. The good news is Tantrum is now at 1.4. Okay. Next up is going to be Tantrum. So, well, this just did not work out the way I thought about. This was not well planned out by me at all. Let's see, Tantrum's going to roll 1 defense die since I have 5 dexterity. Actually, you know what? 1, 2. Why not? Better positioning. I have 3. There's 1 of my decks left. I will do 2 of my decks left, and I do believe Way of the Wild might be my best option here, if I'm not mistaken. Only problem is it only works on adjacent. That's the trick. So I'm going to save that. So, not going to roll like a kobold yet. I think that's just all I'm going to do. Or I can move 1 more space over. I think I'll move 1 more space over. That's a total of 3, and I still have 2 dice left to roll. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, we got 2 defense and we got, okay. We're gonna do some poisoning of level 2. 2 defense, and we'll do a little bit of poisoning. That might come in handy for us for the poison armor. Okay, that is it for good old Tantrum. Now it's time for Patches to go. Let's see here. All my attack dice are going to break on this guy. So having said that, we have 5 dice to roll. There's 1 die to roll. There is going to be 2 dice to roll. Wait, no, I have 3 defense. That's dummy. So 1, 2, 3. There is 4 dice to roll. I have 1 more die I can roll. He only rolls 1 attack. He only rolls 2 attack. If I put a poison counter on him, life will be wonderful for me. I'm just not going to attack him. And then for my 5th one, let's see if I can get a treasure. Since I'm running out of room on the battle mat, let's go ahead and roll over here, just like this. Wow, that's a lot of bones. And definitely not at the right time. Okay, so 1, 2 bones. 1 defense. I'm not going to use that yet for nutrients. I am going to use a poison 2 though. So let's go ahead and put a poison 2 on top of the clay golem. That may be the only thing that's going to help me defeat him any quicker. That'll exhaust that die, and that is it for Patch's turn. So now the blue gets to go. It's going to move 2 spaces towards the one with the least hit points. That's going to be Tantrum. That would have been funny if it would just trounce right through there, wouldn't it have? So 1, and now let's roll the 2 attack dice. 3 points of damage. Unfortunately, it's only going to be 1. As I don't believe it was true damage, was it? Did it say true damage? Nope, not true damage. So, second movement, and we're in round 1, so it is going to roll 1 attack die versus Tantrum. We'll do 2 points of damage, so Tantrum will lose 2 life. He will go from 1.4 to 1.8 due to the damage taken. And then we're going to add a level 2 poison counter due to our kobold effect right there. And that will exhaust the kobold die and put a 2-point poison counter on him. That actually isn't too bad. I'm actually A-okay with that. Let's go ahead and continue with the Bog Dissenter. So he's going to move towards Patches. He's going to take 5 points of damage, or 5 dice worth of damage. Let's see if it's actually 5 points of damage or not. So can we take him out? We did 2, 4, 5, 6, and a bones. He only has 6 hit points. So that well-placed trap is going to defeat him. That was really nice. Put that there. He will go to the dead pile, and then we know this guy's going to join into the fray at the end of the round. Now we go for the green. So at the start of his round, he is going to take 2 points of poison damage, and then this will tick down to a 1. He rolls 1 attack die, which he's going to roll against Patches. And Patches will take 1 point of damage. And that's going to be it for the round. Now we get to go to the end of round thing, which means that this baddie gets to enter the battlefield now, which is going to be the purple initiative die, which means he's going to go to the bottom of the initiative. And let's see exactly what it's going to be. Oh, more poison. It's going to be a bog frog with 4 hit points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Luckily, it's at the bottom of the initiative because we love our poison so much. Round number 2. So, first thing in round number 2, he's going to target the one with the least amount of hit points, which will be Tantrum. So he's going to go 1, 2. Unfortunately, the Griffin is only going to use his flight die if it actually attacks, which it's not going to do because nobody's in range. So that is going to end his turn. So now we get to go to good old Tantrum, who is at a 1.8. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go from a 1.8 on the rage die, and we're going to advance to the next level of rage, which will be a 2.0. I'm hoping that I can actually make rage work for me in my favor this time. And you know what? I just realized I'm a dirty cheater again. Gosh darn it, I'm getting really disappointed by how often I am doing this. Tantrum's going to gain back 2 hit points because I forgot I had armor. I should be looking at the map much more carefully, which means we are still at a set of 1.8. We are actually only at 1.4 due to our defense. Well, that'll change up how I'm going to do things very quickly, but not too terrible. Need to figure out what I want to do. I need to take you out. And I don't mean on a date. Okay, this can only be used on adjacent targets. You need to die quickly before you tear us apart. You also need to die before you tear us apart. So I could move up. Axe collector, that's a waste. All my attack dice are also a waste. Going to let the poison do its damage. So we're going to do 1 point of dex to move up. We now still have 4 dexterity spent on dice. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice and 1 defense dice, and my target right now is going to be this bog frog, which needs to die quickly. We'll do 2, 3, 4 points of damage to the bog frog. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will take him out and add him over into the corpse pile, which means this baddie will be coming out very, very quickly. We'll gain 2 points of defense. We'll go to 1.6. Since we killed something, well, body count will go up to a 3. Do I want to axe collector? Or throw an axe, I should say. I don't think I want to throw an axe. I just don't. Don't want to do it quite yet. So that is going to be it for Tantrum's turn. Now we get to go to Patches. Patches will heal 1 because I think we're down a hit point, aren't we? Yes, we're down a hit point. And actually, we shouldn't be down a hit point because I would have had my defense that I forgot also for him. That was a poor mistake on my part also. Got to make sure I'm focusing on both these battle mats here because I keep forgetting to do so. So, we're at full life. I have 5 dice I can roll. Nobody's... How badly hurt are you, Tantrum? 6 hit points. You're only down 2 hit points. Do I want to heal you this early in things? Probably not. So, I'm thinking, I think we're going to do we take out the clay golem? We could take out the clay golem or lose all of our attack dice, but at least I'll have bone saw left over. I'm going to roll 2 attack dice, and I'm going to roll 2 defense dice, and I have 1 die left over. Let's see if we cannot be betrayed by the dice again. So, total of 5 dice. 2 attack, 2 defense. Actually, I do 3 defense if I really wanted to. Really don't need to. So, 2 attack, 2 defense, and that. And all the dice are going to break on him, unfortunately. So, well, at least the poison will take him out. And, yes. So I could heal for 3. Do I want to do it? Is it... Yeah, we're going to do it. So we're going to burn the heal for 3. And good old Tantrum is going to heal up to full life. We're going to gain 2 defense. And we're going to do 2 points of damage to the golem. And we have just broken both of our attack dice, which means the only thing we have left is the bone saw. But I guess, hey, if it works out strategically, it just works out. So next up is going to be blue. Blue is going to take 2 points of true damage. I forget, does Hardy block true damage also? Is Hardy super duper mean evil? Yep, reduced to 1. Because Hardy is just that darn nasty. So let's tick this down. And take 1 point of damage, and we still have 1 poison. He's going to go towards the closest target, right there. And we're in round 2, so he gets to roll 2 attack dice versus poor Tantrum. Does 3 points of damage? No. let's just see how this works out. So we did 1 point of damage. I'm going to remember my defense this time. That's going to tick him down from 2 down to 1 defense. Next up is going to be Green, who is going to start his turn by taking 1 point of poison damage, which is going to defeat him, which is super duper nice. And he'll go over into the graveyard of all the bad guys. Okay. Now purple gets to go, which is also removed. So now we're at the end of the round, and we get to reveal what this nasty thing happens to be. Oh, look, it gets to be another griffin. Because you never have too many griffins. So, fortunately, its initiative will be on the bottom of the track. It will come in with only 2 hit points, and it'll go right there adjacent, which is actually a-okay. So now let's go ahead and start round number 3 with the griffin, who is currently in flight. He is going to roll 2 attack dice versus Tantrum. And that's going to be 2 points of damage to Tantrum, which is actually perfect for us, because if we go over here and look, this will be 1 point. The second point will take us up to a 1.8, and then we will take 1 simple point of damage. And this will no longer be in flight. Now we get to go to Tantrum's turn. So, Tantrum for his turn. Let's see here. Tantrum, I think you're going to take out this griffin right here since it hasn't activated yet. So, do we rage up first? I could rage up. Actually, why do I even bother raging up? Let's do this smart. Let's roll a whole bunch of dice and play smart. So we have 1 defense. We have 2 dice. 3, 4, 5 dice that I'm allowed to roll. I think it's going to be good. Actually, no, I'll take 1. No, yes, because I know how I've been rolling. I know how I've been rolling. So my target, actually, bunch of indecision. You know it's a good game when it makes you think this much about your turns. I mean, you can look at Too Many Bones and go, it's just a dice game. It's not just a dice game. There's so much strategy and tactics in this game. It really does have a lot of strategy and tactics. I'm going to go for this because I need to get rid of that Hardy as quick as possible, because that guy is just an absolute pain as long as he's got Hardy. So I can put this on anybody, not just my target. So my target is this griffin right here. So let's roll. You betrayed me. I knew you were going to betray me. Traitorous die. 1 defense, and then we have 5 points of damage. That will get rid of that griffin. And obviously I'm not going to take the bone for this, because I was really hoping that Way of the Wild would allow me to get rid of the hardy ability of that other creature. So purple is out of the fight. Only thing left is going to be yellow and blue. That is it for Tantrum's turn, except for I do have the ability to actually do a killing attack now. If you look over my board right here, I do have my rage die. Instead of taking my rage die, we're going to exhaust it, and I'm going to take out this other griffin. It will be defeated, and that does mean that we defeated 2 baddies this turn, and that does mean that our body count is going to go from 3 all the way up to 5, which is going to be a great way to go into the battle with Mulmesh, the ability to heal for 5 hit points. I like that. I like that very, 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 very much. So that is going to be it for Tantrum's turn. Now we get to go to Patches. Patches has no attack die, but we do have our bone saw. I will move down 1 space right here. I'm going to actually take back all my defense dice. I have 2 defense dice locked on 1s. I have 4 dice I can still roll. So there's 2 of my 4 dice. There's 3 of my 4 dice. And can this give me bones? Can it give me bones? It cannot give me bones. So I'm just basically stuck with 3 dice. Am I hurt at all? Because I get to heal at the start of my round. 3, 7. Nope, I am not hurt at the start of my round. Okay. Let's go ahead and make some magic. I'm really hoping for bones. Okay, I got a bones, which allows me to have a needle jab. I have 1 defense, and I'm going to do 3 points of damage to the hardy kobold, which is actually only going to be 1 point of damage. And that will be the end of Patches' turn. The hardy kobold will go at the start of its round due to the poison. It will take 1 point of damage, leaving it with 1 hit point left. Not quite enough to take it out, but we're so close. It's going to roll 3 attack dice. Its target is going to be, unfortunately, both of us. So let's see if we can go ahead and start rolling some pain here really, really quickly. So this does have the potential to hurt, but let's go and roll it down. First one's going to be first is Tantrum, because remember he can attack 2 targets, which is why he's so nasty being a Kobold Elite. And versus Tantrum, we will take 3 points of damage. Actually 2 points of damage because I do have 1 defense left over. So we'll click off 2 hit points right there for Patches. And we don't have a rage dice, so we can't use it for anything, so we're done. Now we get to roll 3 attack dice versus Patches. And we'll do 1 point of damage. We have 1 defense still left over here on Patches. So Patches will actually take no damage. Let's go ahead and start round number 4 with Tantrum, who is going to roll all his attack dice in an effort to kill this nasty, nasty creature. Because if we take him out, it'll be another body count. Oh, our body count's already at max, so it doesn't really matter. We're just doing this for grins at this point. Although, can I get a axe? Oh, I can get an axe out like a kobold. I'm going to roll like a kobold just because I'm hoping for an axe. Because I want to start the fight versus Mulmesh with all my axes. That's my hope. Okay, you know, hope and hope and hope and don't get it. But hey, I still did 5 points damage, which is reduced to 1. That is still going to defeat that kobold. And we have won this battle in day number 6. Congratulations to our heroes. Let's go ahead and refresh everything and gain our rewards, gain our treasures, and gain all the awesomeness that's going to come with all the things we just happen to do right then and there. Let's go ahead and refresh all of our dice. Put all of our dice back on our mat. Actually burned through a lot of dice on that fight. It was actually pretty darn cool. It actually worked out really, really well. Toxins right there. I could have, no, wouldn't have been any good to heal. All of our dice are unlocked. Everything is back and reset back to normal. So let's gain a reward. So we're going to gain 2 level ups. So let's go ahead and start over here with Tantrum first. We know with Tantrum I was going for anger management. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take anger management as our first level up. I have 1 more level up. I think I'm going to take Like a Wolf for the lashback ability. I like lashback. It's very, very nice. I'm thinking maybe going for dexterity, but no, we're not going to worry about it. We are going to go with this nice solid start right here. I think that's a good start. That's our 2 skill ups. Now let's go ahead and go over to Patches. Patches is surviving pretty darn well. Got really good defense. Got 5 decks. Things are looking really, really good here. I'm thinking our options are probably going to be Medpack to Zap Pack. I think Zap Pack, just in the case things go really, really sour, I think Zap Pack will allow us to bring somebody back to life. One required, okay. Overcharge back when it rolls Zap Pack. When using Zap Pack, the negative zap result is used on baddies. Negative zap is the lightning bolt. Now it's pausing. Negative is a lightning bolt. So I can do 4 points of damage with that. That could be really, really nice, and Medpack would be an additional heal. Having the ability to do 4 points of damage with him could be insanely nice. Really, really nice. Although, you know what? I think I'm going to take an attack, and I think I'm going to take a dex. I don't know if I'm going to regret that or not, but I think I'm going to take an attack, and I think I'm going to take a dex. Because if I took a dex, that would give me up to 6 dex. That would allow me to roll 3 attack and 3 defense if I need to, and also allow me to roll all my dice and really just unleash on Mulmesh if I need to. And since Mulmesh has that ability to jump off the battlefield, I think the ability to just unleash on him makes me very, very happy. So let's roll 2 attack dice, see if we can raise our attack stat. And we won't. Okay, so that changes our plans. Back to med pack past that pack then. I think we're going to go med pack and Zap Pack. Because when it comes to Mulmesh, you need to take him out really fast in one fell swoop before he jumps off the board. So that is our level ups. Now we get some loot for both our heroes. First loot is going to be for Patches, who's going to get Infused Incense. Roll 2 additional attack dice on your turn. Well, yes, thank you very much. Although I think I'm going to give that to Patches. Or not to Patches, to Tantrum. Tantrum's loot is going to be Zelfie Seas, single use, heal any gear lock for 2 hit points. Well, yes, I would like to do that. Okay. I'm going to burn our Fortunate Discovery, I think, right here and right now. And I think I'm going to use it to max out Axe Collector. I think that's probably my best idea. I mean, Horn of the Zerker is nice, but although I guess I can use it to get angry much more efficiently. Yep, I'm going to do Horn of the Zerker, because the nice thing about the Horn of the Zerker is, even though this is a consumable, if I get this symbol right here, instead of it being exhausted, it's actually going to go back in my consumable spot, and I can keep rolling it as long as I have decks. And I have 5 decks, so I can definitely make that happen. So that's that Fortune Discovery burned right there. That is the complete loot phase and gaining the progress points. We're now up to 6 progress points. We're about to enter day number 7. So what options do we want to do? We want to heal. You're at 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let us heal all the way up to 8 hit points. Do you have your full allotment of 7? 2, 4, 6, 7. You are at full life. Okay, trading. Roll 2 additional attack dice for good old Tantrum. I'm going to lay waste into Mulmesh so darn quick and hard, its head is going to spin. So, you healed, so you cannot do anything. You can actually look for better treasure, though. Increase dex by 3 for a turn. Rerolling dice. Let's just go ahead and do some scouting. Because we're going into day number 7, which means we're going to have 14 points worth of baddie queue. Because we have 2 heroes. So that means we're going to have at least 2 level 5 elites. Let's find out what our first level 5 nastiness is going to be. It is going to be... Ooh, wow, that's not good. A Stone Golem. Break and corrosive. He'll kill our defense and our offense. That sounds about as fun as going in for a root canal. No. If I might say it, no. And no. Okay, that is the end of day number 6. Let's go ahead and start day number 7. And for day number 7, we have found the horrible, nasty Mulmesh. We're going to attack Mulmesh. We are going for it. Day number 7, the baddie queue equals baddie points, which is going to be 14. So there is 1. I have to clean this up. Don't need to worry about these dice anymore. Let's just go ahead and move them out of the way. There's 10, there is 11, 12, 13, and 14 right there. Add Mulmesh to the bottom of the baddie queue. So he's going to go all the way down underneath, right just like that. So that means we need to get through all these, just to get to Mulmesh. That should make it extra, extra, extra exciting and fun. So, level 1. Our initiative 2, our initiative 3, and our initiative 4 guy. Let's go ahead and discover what kind of fun we have. First up is going to be a Poison 2 Bog Lurk. Has 6 hit points. And it has an initiative of 4. Ah, that should just be extra, extra fun. Initiative of 4. Right there. Next up we have an Owl Bear. Also has 6 hit points. And an initiative 4 and Inspire level 1. Okay, I am not liking this at all. Next up is... Why did it have to be hardy? Why did it have to be hardy? Oh, that's right, because everything's hardy when you're fighting Mulmesh. Because Mulmesh just likes the hardy creatures. He loves the scaled creatures. These are all, nope, you are ranged. You are hand-to-hand combat. You are going to be a dire wolf pup. See, initiative of 4 and initiative of 3. Just like that. Now to see what initiative we are going to gain for our group of heroes. 3 and a 4. Oh, you are so mean. 4. I really would love to reroll that if I could, but I can't because that'd be cheating. If only I had the ability to... Oh, the wrong person had it. I actually had it. But hey, that's okay. He has the optics. I just have to survive the first round. And then we'll go to the top of the initiative round, and life will be wonderful for us. Okay, so that is basically our baddie queue. Now, how do I want to take all this out? So, terror is nasty. Terror basically means that you cannot attack that thing, if I remember correctly. So, let's look at all the fun we have right here. So, terror is going to be terrify. After this unit is attacked, place a terrify effect die on the attacking unit until the end of its next turn. If a unit has terrify effect die on the start of its turn, it may not target any units with the skill terrify. So after I hit it, I cannot hit it again. So I really need to hit it really hard. Inspire 1. You also hit for 4 attack dice. Oh, this is just going to be bloody marvelous. Emphasis on bloody, not much marvelous. Ah, this is just horrible. Horrible. Why you hate me so much, game? Why are you hating me so darn much? Okay, so Inspire 1. Inspire is going to be the next baddie on the initiative meter of their turn immediately after this unit. So after he goes, yellow is going to go. That's really not going to affect anything at all because it's already next in order. So, one thing I need to worry about is Hardy and Terrify. Doable. If I put you right here, and then I put Tantrum just like that, and Tantrum needs to run up and take care of that poison guy as quick as possible. I think we can actually do it. I think we can do this. I think we can do this. I am actually somewhat positive about the outcome of this encounter. Somewhat. So, start of the round. First thing that's going to happen is round 1, fight. I will start off all of the fun here by rolling 2 attack dice and 3 defense dice. That will allow me to survive the damage that this owlbear is going to do to me, hopefully. So well, do I do poison though? No, I think I'm going to save poison for good old Mulmesh. So that was underwhelming. We'll have 2 defense, and we'll do a whole point of damage. I don't feel inspired. He may feel inspired, but I definitely do not feel inspired. Terrified. Absolutely terrifying. Now we're all going to get poisoned. Okay. Poison Nasty gets to go. He's going to put a poison 2 on you, and he's going to put a poison 2 on you. Nice, quick, and easy. Not much to it. That's about it. Now, purple gets to activate. Purple gets to roll 4 attack dice versus us. And we have a whole 2 defense. Let's see what happens. Well, we're going to take 2 points of damage, which is going to go great with that poison damage. That's going to start stocking up on us very, very quickly. So 2 points of damage. Our defense is gone. The hardy kobold gets to go. He's going to go after whoever has the most hit points, which is going to be Tantrum. You'll move down, and you will attack Tantrum. You have a 1 attack. Rolling, we will get 1 point of damage to Tantrum. Okay, so now we get to go to Tantrum's turn. So the very first thing that's going to happen at the start of Tantrum's turn was we are going to take 2 more points of damage, and this is going to tick down to 1. So since we've taken a total of 3 points of damage, our rage is going to be at 1.6. So I think I'm going to get my rage to 1.8 and try to figure out how I'm going to kill lots of things very, very quickly. Problem is it's not going to work that way. So the first thing we are going to do is I am going to use my Axe Collector consumable, tick it down 1, and I'm going to do 2 points damage to this guy right here. That does 2 points damage right there. Next thing I am going to do is we're going to roll 5 dice. First, I'm going to move up 1 space, so now I only have access to 4 dice. The first of those dice is going to be like a kobold, so that's 1 die I'm going to roll. And like a kobold, you better not betray me, otherwise I am just going to hunt you down to the ends of the earth. Second die I'm going to roll, plus 2 attack dice for a total of 4 attack dice. Again, don't you dare betray me. Don't you dare betray me. Target, you. Okay, so luckily, threatening the dice apparently works. So we'll have like a kobold for 2 rounds. We will do 2 points of damage. 1, 2 points of damage. I will stop him from doing poison, because that is just going to get insanely challenging very, very quickly. And that is it. I have body count of 5, so it'd be foolish of me to heal this early. I've already thrown my axe. I have like a kobold level 1. That's going to be it. So let's go ahead and look over at the baddies. You are going to move 1 space over here, and you are going to attack poor Patches for 1 die of damage. Patches will take 2 points of damage. That hurts. Just about killed off poor Patches right there. So that's going to end round number 1. Round number 2, start of the round, Patches is going to take 2 points damage, but then he's going to heal 1 back, so I'm just simply going to remove 1. Next, Patches, you need to heal, my friend, and you need to heal a lot. So you cannot attack that thing at all. You could attack this, which would get rid of a problem, but I don't think we're quite ready for that. Well, actually, we probably are quite ready for that. Okay, so first things first, we are going to roll. That's 1 of our dice. Here are 2 of our dice. Here are 2 more of our total of 5 dice. You have 3. So we have a heal of 3, which is going to help us immensely. So let's heal back 3 hit points. And before I forget, I need to tick down that poison by 1 right there. So that'll be our heal gone. We'll do 3 points of damage, which is 1, 2, 3. So since he is defeated, he is not actually going to get the chance to do a lash back to us. That's good. That's a very awesome thing. Then we're going to get 3 defense. That's actually really, really good. That's actually pretty darn awesome. So, Patches, way to really just give it 1 for the team. Way to really, really make 1 for the team. Okay, that's it for Patches' turn. So now you get to activate. You can't poison, so you can't really do anything. So you're going to shoot out a whole bunch of air at everybody, doing absolutely nothing. Your turn is over. So this is when I realized I forgot to do something with good old Tantrum. He went to 1.8, and I forgot to advance him to 2.0. I would have advanced him to 2.0 on his turn because that would have been the smart thing to do, and I would have definitely did that. Sorry, I hate retconning things. It makes me feel like a fool when I retcon things, but sometimes you just got to do it when you forget to do things. Because I'm basically playing two guys, so occasionally I'm going to make some minor mistakes. You got to cut me some slack here. So he is going to attack whoever has the least amount of hit points. That is going to be Tantrum. He rolls 4 attack dice. Luckily, we got like a kobold, so you can roll these attack dice all you want. Come on, get 4 2s just to be really nasty. Look at all those 2s. Haha, doesn't matter. I still only take 1 point of damage due to like a kobold. Next up is Yellow gets to go. He is going to attack whoever has the most hit points. So that means he's going after Patches. So he's going to move over. He's going to roll 1 attack die, and Patches, he gets a bone. Nothing's going to happen. Okay. Now it's time for Patches. Patches is going to start his turn by taking 1 point of damage. That should put him up to 2.4 on the Richter scale. Now we don't have a lot of hit points left, so this is a great time to use body count. I'm going to burn all of body count because we have body count currently at 5. I'm going to burn it all the way down to 0, which allows us to heal 5 hit points. 3, 4, 5. That puts us all the way back to full life, which is really darn awesome. Now, Tantrum, you need to kill that owlbear. So I have 4 attack dice, and I have 1 defense dice. My target is going to be that owlbear. Gotta make sure I tick down like a kobold 1 point before I forget. It's not terrible. So we got 2 bones, which may allow us to calm down if we need to. We have 1 defense, and I'm going to do 3 points of damage to this horrible, nasty guy. 1, 2, 3, and this fear is now over on you, because that means you can't attack him, but that's okay. 2 bones, still got like a kobold, still got 1 defense. We're still at 2.4, and since we hit, that puts us to 2.6. Now we got to do the end of the round things, which means this is going to come in down here for this 1 point baddie right here, which is going to be a bog pole. That is a ranged attacker. He has 3 hit points. It's a great time for all these poisoning guys to come out onto the board because they make life so darn exciting, and I don't mean that in a positive way. So, top of the round, round number 3, first thing that's going to happen is good old Patches gets to go. First thing that happens to Patches is we are going to heal 1 hit point, which is going to be lost by that poison, so I don't even need to bother doing that. We will spend 2 points of our dex. We still have 3 points of dex left. I'm going to use 2 attack dice. And yeah, I think it is time to kill that poison toad very, very quickly. We'll get 3 points of damage. He is going to be defeated. 1, 2, 3 points of damage. We'll remove that. This 1 point baddie will go over there. This will be our next surprise coming up very, very soon. That is it for Patches' turn. I did my healing. I did my abilities. I did everything he wants to do. I know that he's going to be the next target for the owlbear, so that's just not going to be very, very fun. But next up is going to be Blue, who's going to do a whole bunch of puffs of air, which is not going to do anything. Purple is going to go, and he is going to roll 4 attack dice versus Patches, because Patches has the least amount of hit points. Luckily, we have 3 defense. So 2 points of damage. We'll take out 2 of our defense die. We still have 1 defense left for Patches. We're doing okay. Yellow is going to activate. It's going to attack Tantrum for 1. We still have 1 defense die in Tantrum. We got a bones, nothing's going to happen. We're A-okay there. So now it is Tantrum's turn to figure out what Tantrum wants to do. I'm thinking with Tantrum, this guy needs to die right now, because if he dies, that means that Mulmesh is going to pop right into the spot, which is going to be the best thing for us, I think. I'm terrified I can't do that. Take everything I just said back because I can't do any of that at all. So you're just the basic annoying thorn. You're not even worth my time. You're also an annoying thorn. You're not really worth my time at all either. You really don't do anything that makes life difficult at all. Literally, you don't do anything at all. That's a problem. Well, let's see here. I'm going to get my rage up to 2.8, which is allowing me to get to 3.0 out. So I'm going to go full-fledged and attack this guy right here. I think this is probably a good time to... Actually, you know what? Play smart. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I was thinking about... No. Nope, not going to do that. I am going to... Let's see here. A lot of paralysis just to figure out one thing. One of my dex dice. Some more of my dex dice right here, just like this. I'm basically looking for bones to get to Axe Collector, or possibly get up to Recoup. My target is going to be right there. I'm just going to get rid of the poison guy just because he's a pain, and that means Mulmesh is going to spawn in this spot right there, which means he's way out of position for me. That's also dumb. Okay, I'm literally doing this. I'm going after him. I know it seems like I'm being very, very roundabout because there's a lot of strategy and tactics in this game. It looks like a dice game, but there's a lot of strategy and tactics in this game. I'm attacking him. I'm looking for a whole bunch of bones. Just give me a whole bunch of bones. That's all I want. Tons and tons of bones. Okay, I got 2 bones. That puts us up to 4 bones. I can ping out Axe Collector right now. So, since I did 1 point of damage to an enemy, or since I successfully attacked an enemy, either way you want to say it, I'm going to go to 2.8. I'm going to take my 2.8 and I'm going to bring out my 3.0, which means my GPA is going up. So I should be getting good grades now. I have a 3.0. Yes. So I'm going to burn Rusty Optics right now for 1 time, which is allowing me to, at the end of the round, I'm going to gain 3 points of initiative. And this is the end of the round, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to be sliding in right there. Oops, sorry. Should give you a view of what I'm doing. So pop this out, slide up 3, and this will be sliding in at the end of the round. That is basically it for my turn. I can take off this Terrify because we're done with it. I did not attack him on the next turn, so Terrify is done. That is basically it. The only thing that's going to happen now is this guy is going to be added to the initiative tracker right now. Slide in the initiative tracker right there. Before we advance to round 4, let's see what we're going to get. We're going to get another ranged poison guy. Secrete 1, poison 1. Okay, luckily he only has 3 hit points. And even more fortunate for us, Patches is in the perfect position to take him out very, very quickly. With a needle jab, maybe even. Oh, that looked very, very... That'd just be awesome. So, round number 4. Starting with Patches. So, Patches is going to roll 2 attack dice, and we're going to roll 3 defense dice. Again, I'm saving all my big dice for the moment Mulmesh comes onto the board here, where I'm really, really saving all my dice. Target is the bog guy. And then, yeah, we're going to do it like this. So, the bog guy is our target. So, we're going to get 2 points of damage to him. 1, 2. We're going to get our 3rd bones, and I'm going to needle jab to make sure I take him out, because I'm not dealing with poison. I am done with poison. I've had all the fun I can have in 1 day with poison, which is absolutely 0 amount of fun with poison. So he is officially taken out by me burning that. Additionally, I had a 1 and a 2 on the defense die, which is going to be great. As soon as Mulmesh comes out on the board and starts slashing and tearing us all apart, that is it for Patches' turn. Oops, before I forget, Patches does heal for 1 hit point because of his innate ability. So now we get to go over to Tantrum, who is next in the initiative track. Tantrum, you're going to go up. Tantrum, on your turn, you're going to take out this owlbear. So I want to plot and be ready for good old Mulmesh to access the board. So Mulmesh is going to come out here and he's going to activate first. And if I remember correctly, he goes after weakest, which would be Patches. So if I move away, he'll attack Patches. I can get an axe throw in, come in and just hammer on him as hard as possible because that's what we want to do. So I'm going to spend 1 of my decks to go just like that. I'll spend 2 of my decks to go up just like that. I'm going to attack this thing. I still have 3 decks left over. So I'm going to use 3 attack dice for that. I'm going to tick down my axe down to 0 to do 2 points of damage to him. 2 points of damage, which means you are defeated and removed from the board. I can take out your initiative die. I still have 3 attack dice to go ahead and take him out. Okay, so we'll do 2 points of damage, which is enough to kill him. He only had 2 hit points left. This will be exhausted, and ooh, that's a big old mess I'm going to fix here really, really quick. So let's pile us all back up with our hit points. I could level up, or I could do Axe Collector. I have 2 bones left over. I think I'm going to do Axe Collector. We're going to go ahead and burn Axe Collector because I just think that's a smarter thing to do. And that'll put us all the way back up to 3 axes. We have lost like a kobold because that has worn out. I defeated somebody. That's going to put us at a 3.2. Let's see here. Blue and green are gone from the initiative tracker. Yellow gets to go. It's going to move towards the strongest, which is going to be towards Patches. So we will go up 1, 2, just like that. It'll roll 1 attack die versus Patches. And Patches is going to take 2 points of damage. 1, 2. And that means his rage meter is going to go from 3.4 to 3.6. I think that is an extra, yeah, that's still pretty darn good. And that's the end of the round. We're going to start round number 5, but before we go into round number 5, Mulmesh is going to jump on the board, and since he is a tyrant, he's going to jump to the top. So he's going to take slot number 1. He is not a ranged guy, so he's going to go right here, just like that. He will take the top of the initiative tracker right here, which is going to be extra fun for us because he comes in right there. He's going to have 8 hit points. 2, 4, 6, and 8 hit points. And that means he gets to go first at the top of round number 5. And he's going to go after whoever has the least amount of hit points, which is going to be Patches. Extra fun there. Luckily, Patches has lots and lots of defense right now. Patches has 3 defense and the ability to heal. So let's see what kind of nastiness good old Mulmesh is going to do. So first things first, Patches is going to be the target of Mulmesh's wrath because he goes after the weakest. Move over 1 space, and then we're going to roll 2 attack dice plus his nasty Howl at the Moon die. Come on, dice be in my favor. Okay, not quite in my favor. So we're going to take at least 2 points of damage. We're going to take 4 points of damage. Luckily, if we go look at good old Patches, we see that he still has 3 armor. So we're only going to take 1 point of damage, so it could have been a heck of a lot worse. Luckily, we've been building up lots of defense on good old Patches. Not too bad. This, unfortunately, does mean that this guy is going to go up on the initiative track 1 spot, just like that. Well, that could have been a heck of a lot worse at least. So it's not too bad. That's going to be it for Mulmesh's turn, and now it's time for Patches to go. And Patches has a lot of dice and a lot of dexterity and probably some pent-up rage. So the very first thing that's going to happen for Patches is going to heal 1 hit point. We're going to roll 1 point of dexterity. I think 3 points of dexterity, 4 points of dexterity, and then 5 points of dexterity. And we're looking for massive, massive damage. Actually, it's a good time to use a mechanical assistant, which is going to allow me to add even more dice. So if I add 2 more defense, and then I add in poison. Okay, so just so you see what we're doing here, we're going to go ahead and cash in the mechanical assistance. That says increase your dexterity by 3 for this turn only. Let's burn that. So we effectively have an 8 dexterity, which means we get to roll 8 dice. So there's 8 dice there. I am really, really hoping for this symbol right here. I am really hoping for this symbol right here. And I'm really hoping for that symbol right there, because that would pretty much just, you know, end Mulmesh in one fell swoop. Luckily, I also have my reflex powder. This could be really cool. Okay. This is really cool. Let's burn our reflex powder just for grins. And let's see if the bone saw can be a little bit better. Okay. This is how you take out a tyrant in one fell swoop and feel really, really cool about it. So this right here, if we look right here, over here at Patches, we see that that is going to be what is called the Negazap. If we look at the Negazap, we see right there, if we read about it, it says deal true damage to any baddie equal to 4 points. The only negative is we have to burn 1 of our battery packs to do it. We have 3 battery packs to do it, so I think we can do that. So we'll burn 1 of our battery packs from 3 down to 2. So now we've done 4 points of damage to Mulmesh. Let's count this off nice and slowly because it's better this way. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. Yes, I'm relishing this quite a lot because Mulmesh can be nasty. We'll do 3 more points of damage. 1, 2, 3 points of damage. We will poison him just because, you know, I like to add insult to injury just to let him know that I really, really, really had a lot of anger pent up towards him. We'll take 3 points of defense. We'll take a bone. Oh, and then we'll do 4 points of damage. So he only has 1 point of damage left. So that does mean that Mulmesh is no more. We have defeated Mulmesh, and he's gone down in style. A howl pierces the night sky like a worgen's claw through its prey. Mulmesh hunches over and finally succumbs to his wounds. The meaning of it all is tough to decipher. Beasts are known to simply defend their own, but something else is going on here. There is more to this worgen than its blind rage and viciousness. Something in the back of its eyes exposes its internal struggle with its own instincts. Instincts that appear to have been tampered with. Now that's the ending you get from the epilogue if you actually play through the campaign. Like I said, for this playthrough, I want to throw in some extra stuff so you can see the cool stuff you get by adding in tons of expansions for Too Many Bones. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this video series. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I will get to them as quickly as I can. Also, feel free to email me at off-the-shelf board game reviews. That's otsbgr@gmail.com. I'll answer emails as quickly as I can. You enjoy the content, you enjoy the videos I put out there, think about helping support the channel over on Patreon. Patreon.com/otsbgr. It's literally just $1 in the tip jar. It helps me know that you appreciate the content I put out there and you want to help me keep putting out more content. If you enjoy this video, you enjoy this video series, click that like button, click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.